不重要，我只需要就是我们能稳扎，然后到决赛，然后在决赛再重拳出击。
Поэтому, надеюсь, наша строчка будет как можно более высокой. Благодаря тому, что мы просто будем хорошо играть и найдем tот самый поток.
650 civarı toplayacağımızı düşünüyorum.
He isn't brave enough to take fight. He isn't brave enough to go for the knock. He resets. Dylan is back alive. Goes to knock. Goes for the first diver. Dylan now roaches heading in further forward. He'll back.
在经历了2天的淘汰赛之后，我们在队内就是进行了一些心态上的一些调整和一些转点和那种在转点上面复盘了很多，然后熟悉了各个队伍的跳点和转点位置。
其实我觉得 Super Weekend 的名次其实并不重要，我只需要就是我们能稳扎，然后到决赛，然后在决赛再重拳出击。
V getting into some gunfire right here. Oh, Udor pulling up the buggy.
Oh, next Ruda. Already down 2 men. That's not looking good. And Hav as well falls down. Udor in the clothesline, taking a lot of damage. He's not going to be able to withstand that one. He also falls down. Now next Ruda left with only one last man alive with Frozen. Is all the way in the middle of nowhere. He's running. He's on a run. He doesn't want to fight against Navi. It's understandable. He wants to play things a little safe.
That zone again, White moves up towards the north. This is nice game to lose when it comes to entering in his zone quickly. Quickly go for the punish to find Kitsune. That's the knocks that we were looking for in the edge of zone that they're going in for. But can they translate that into the kills?
That's what I'm looking for. And so far it seems like they won't be able to. Navi's already down and bleeding.
Первые 2 дня были не совсем удачные, но мы понимали, что нужно будет адаптироваться прямо по ходу турнира, потому что есть команды из американского региона, с которыми мы вообще не играли ни разу. И это просто будет планомерная работа, в ходе которой мы научимся играть в таких ситуациях, в таких играх с такими командами и будем вновь показывать лучший результат. Наша главная цель к финалам — это просто найти свою игру, чтобы показать всю свою мощь, весь наш потенциал уже непосредственно в этапе, который действительно многое значит, который будет гарантировать проход на чемпионат мира, финал чемпионата мира. Поэтому, надеюсь, наша строчка будет как можно более высокой, благодаря тому, что мы просто будем хорошо играть и найдем тот самый поток.
Analyst knows Golden probably looking for this pickup, probably looking for this revive. I don't think it's going to be possible. Golden needs to make sure to be locked and loaded, ready to take this engagement. Silas going to be pushing with the UMP. Go for that straight out of.
Turnuva başlamadan önce 600 puanı bulur muyuz diye tartışıyorduk aramızda arkadaşlarla. 650 civarı toplayacağımızı düşünüyorum. Merhabalar, ben STD'den Silas. 10 maçın şu 2 gün üzerinde 10 maçın 7'sini falan win almayı düşünüyorduk ama sadece 4'ü nasip olabildi. Bazı maçlar zaten sattık. Bombaya falan filan olsun. Ya bunları çalıştık, tabii ki de bekliyorduk her şeyi. Yani hiç şaşırmadık. Normal hedeflerimize doğru ilerliyoruz.
See them pumping the brakes just a little bit. They don't have the numbers to their advantage, but Frozen cooking a grenade. Yeah, looks like Alpha 7 already going to be down a member, so we kind of see them pumping the brakes just a little bit. They don't have the numbers to their advantage.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he f***ed up.
Frozen cooking a grenade, tossing a grenade. Looks like it bounced off that little...
In the clotheslines. He does have his teammates though in the back lines. But what I'm wondering is they have clear line of sight on the forward position.
Oh God, please, no! No! No!
Oh, dude, what the hell?
Huh?
this is a highlight from that previous map. How
Just running right up. Much with that information instead of moving further forward. Now the problem is for a team like Rise is yes they can play well. I mean, production, please stop the savagery. I mean, Rise.
Danny, ready for extract.
PUBG Mobile fans around the world, welcome to the 2021 PUBG Mobile Global Championship. To the top teams across all regions, we have a message for you. The Middle East, you have proven your worth. Now, make your formidable debut on the PMGC stage. South Korea, forget the past. This year, show the world you've ascended. Remind the world of South Korea's raw talent. Japan, you came so close last year. But what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Bring it back better than ever. The Americas, you're the alpha dogs that dominated the West. Now, lead the pack on the world stage. Southeast Asia, you took down so many strong teams on your journey to the top. It's time for a comeback on the global stage. Europe, it's now or never. Push your limits and surprise us all. This is the moment to create your legacy. South Asia, you were the dark horse of 2020. Amaze those who would underestimate you again. China, you carry the crown of last year's PMGC. Now, with everyone's eyes on you once more, can you secure back-to-back victories? PMGC needs a champion. The world needs a champion. Who will stand victorious in the end? Who will be next to glory?
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
Hello, PUBG Mobile fans. It's almost time to bring together the world's top teams for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021. This year's PMGC has a total prize pool of $6 million for teams and players, and tons of great rewards for our fans as well. PMGC will consist of 2 stages, League and Grand Finals. The League phase will last from November 30th to December 24th. During the league phase, teams from the Americas and Europe will compete in the West League, while teams from Asia and the Middle East will compete in the East League. Each league, 20 teams will compete on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for 16 slots to compete on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in that week's Super Weekend. The total Super Weekend scores over the first 3 weeks will determine which 16 teams will compete in the PMGC League Finals during the final week. The top 9 teams from the East League Finals, the top 6 teams from the West League Finals, and a special invited team will advance to the PMGC Grand Finals. The PMGC Grand Finals, which will take place on January 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, will determine the PMGC 2021 Global Champions. Who will be the next to glory? Don't miss a single minute of exciting PMGC action.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021 West League. This is the second day of this third weekday games, and it's the last day. It's the last day for these weekday games for this event, guys. I'm your host, Pancargo. With me is, of course, our awesome analyst, the 7 Worlds Gaming, and Glitter Explosion. And I'm just gonna start it off. You know, all these teams, I feel like they have been slowly kind of figuring each other out, that even these last matches, we did get our first predictions correct, I will say, but there's still a lot of teams that kind of stepped up to the plate. So is there any team that you specifically want to go on ahead and talk about anything about them? Start off with 7.
Team Queso. Come on, baby. Like, where have you been? I feel like I have to do that call out. If they don't make it this Super Weekend, and I'm trying to think as far back as possible in YouTube chat, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't think I've ever seen Team Queso be in a PMGC or on a stage like this and not make any Super Weekend. That's going to be maybe up there with one of the worst performances they have ever had. So I'm definitely going to be looking at Team Queso. I'm also going to be looking at Alpha 7 and Navi Glitter. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight each other.
You know, I kind of hope they do, because it provided us with some very interesting gameplay yesterday. However, we talked about it yesterday too. Today is the day where we focus on that 16th place bubble, man. This is going to mean a lot. We've got teams that have only played in one Super Weekend. We still have a team that hasn't, played in any Super Weekend. There are squads or 2 teams that need to make it through to that situation. And XSET is actually performing phenomenally. They're one of the squads that desperately need to make it through to the Super Weekend, right? They are in a very, very solid position for themselves. Like you're saying, Queso, not so much, but I'm also keeping my eyes on the likes of Besiktas. They're having another fantastic week. They've only played 3 matches so far, so we're going to see them all day today, and they are already in 9th place overall, and they're one of those teams that's only been to 1 Super Weekend. So, I mean, like you were saying, Span, we've had a lot of surprises, but in like a very good way.
Yeah, no, a really good way. That's why there's so many teams to kind of go on ahead and talk about. That's why I kind of just opened the floor, because you could go on ahead and talk about all these teams, how they've kind of progressed throughout this entire event. That's why, I mean, at this point, there's only 5 games left. And of course, a lot of these teams have already completed 5 games yesterday. That means they might only have 3 games today, just depending on what group they're in. Here's all of our participating teams right now. Of course, all these teams just playing 8 games in weekdays. They only have a couple more matches today to get into that top 16. And gotta say, a couple of these teams right now, based off of their placement, kind of surprising. Let's actually go on ahead and talk about that. We can just bring it up immediately. The bottom 4 teams in our overall just for this weekday, a little bit surprising. I mean, I think it's okay for a couple of the teams because they haven't played too, but there's one specifically that I feel like should be talked about, and that's Footballist 7.
Definitely. Footballist has played 5 matches. They are going to be playing 3 today, but they're currently, out of all those 5 matches, they were only able to acquire 7 points yesterday, which is insane considering that Footballist was one of the best teams in this past Super Weekend. But the way to look at it is that, you kind of hinted at it, this is a great thing for those teams that are looking to get points. This is a great thing for those teams that are going to be looking to make it to their first Super Weekend. Like Exit Glitter was hinting at it too. Now, it's not just Footballists. We also have Fenerbahce. They're currently sitting in 17th place. We also have Navi. And then the last one, we have Aton, which currently they have played 3 matches, and that's a team, Glitter, that I feel like if they don't make it to Super Weekend, they could be one of those teams that are eliminated, even though they're currently sitting pretty, I think it was in the 15th spot when we talk about overall Super Weekend points.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought up all of those teams, because there are some heavy hitters there when it comes to that overall standings, like you're saying, the Footballists, the Fenerbahces, even Navi, who in the overall standings coming to Super Weekend are actually pretty comfortable. And I truly think that if they didn't make it through, then they'd probably still be okay. And that's opening up the doors for the likes of XSETs, for the teams that need to make it through again, like potentially Buluk Chaptan, Mad Bulls, those squads. Atan, though, I am a little bit worried about Atan. Like you're saying, they're in that 14th, 15th place area for the overall. And if they don't make it through, and any of those teams that are under them have a phenomenal performance, there is the possibility that they do get leapfrogged by a team like Supermassive Blaze or Eastern Stars, who are only 30 points behind them in those overall rankings. So it could get very, very close and scary by the end of today. There's so much that we have to pay attention to. As you guys can see all the graphics on your screen right now, we're now taking a look at a team summary of Unicorns of Love versus XSET. Obviously, those are top two teams from yesterday, and the fact that we even get to put XSET in this spot is just, it's very exciting.
I mean, it definitely is. They definitely just went on ahead and brought it back. I mean, who was it that went on ahead and chose them for the first game? I believe it was U7, and they ended up going on ahead and getting that chicken dinner. I mean, they definitely have kind of slowly started figuring stuff out, gotta say, when it comes to both placement and kill points. It does look like Unicorns of Love, though, also figured things out. I mean, after last Super Weekend, they kind of weren't there entirely, but it looks like coming into this league play, they're definitely showing up once again. And GK First and Lin, they're going to actually be the top two people that are going to actually have a head-to-head here, Seven.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that they're currently there. I mean, the team out of yesterday, they ended up with the best performance. Not only that, the consistency that they were able to showcase yesterday was really impressive. The first game, second place finish with 9 elims. The second game, third place finish with 2 elims. Even though it might not be a lot of elims, they're still being consistent in regards to placement points. And then the last 2 matches from yesterday for them, it was a third place finish and a fourth place finish with 8 elims. Overall, like we always talk about consistency, especially when we're talking about Unicorns of Love. This is a team that more than likely is going to be making it to the finals. I mean, probably guaranteed to be making it to the finals here of West League. And I want to start seeing that consistency. So I'm glad that they're starting to showcase that today. Another team that I will be looking to see a complete change of that we kind of been hinted at is going to be SCG. We saw the amazing first Super Weekend that they had. We talked about the cushion that they have had to be able to play riskier, to try different plays that maybe they're usually not comfortable with because they're thinking about the points. Well, hey, guess what? Now you're getting to the point where you're kind of getting ready to the finals as well. As I was talking about Unicorns of Love consistency out of SGG, I would like to see that hunter, that killer instinct that they showed me last time.
I mean, maybe at this point, we knew that they were testing something, so maybe at this point, maybe they're just going to make it in top 16 and kind of bring it back to the Super Weekend. All these are just questions that we'll just have to wait and see. And I'm glad you brought up that consistency as well, because it seems like some of these teams really went on ahead and performed well on specifically Erangel and Miramar. And today, we have those same maps. It's not flipped. It's going to be Miramar, Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, Miramar. So same maps once again. We might see some huge success still coming through from Unicorns of Love. And another thing that could potentially bring you guys success and these teams is, of course, 1+9 and 9 Pro. Because with flagship performance and an immersive 120Hz display and hypertext technology made specifically for gamers, the 1+9 and 9 Pro are your best shot to climb the leaderboards. Obviously, at this point, I feel like Unicorns of Love very comfortable in their position, but there's still a ton of teams that need to go on ahead and continue to climb. And that kind of, brings us into discussion specifically about our predictions. So our first match, of course, is going to be on Miramar. I'm just going to start off 7. Who do you think is going to go on ahead and take this one away?
It's going to be a team that I wanted to pick yesterday, but after the first game, they made me not want to pick them. So I'm going to pick them before the even first game happens. I'm going to be going with Team Queso for Miramar.
Team Queso. Okay. Any reasoning why?
Because they need to step up. I mean, as I said earlier, this is a team, if they don't step up, it will be their worst performances. This team has gone from being one of those global teams that, you gotta make me go on a rant. This team has gone from one of those teams that used to be like one of those massive global teams that people kind of fear a little bit, to a laughingstock. That's pretty much what Team Queso is right now, an absolute laughingstock. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to come back today.
Gotta bring it back, make that stop. Okay, Glitter, who do you think is gonna go on ahead and take this Miramar?
So I too chose a team that needs to continue to do well, but they are in a much better starting position than K. So for the first game out of the gate, I picked Besiktas. Okay, I want to see if they can continue their consistency. Ever since that first week has gone the wayside, they've really picked it up in week 2. They've continued to do so here, but they need to make it into this last super weekend. So I'm hoping they start off the day strong.
They definitely changed whatever their gameplay was for the better. I agree. So it looks like they've been doing well for my team. I'm going to actually choose, we already kind of talked about it. We already talked about Futbolist. I ended up choosing them because they did absolutely insane even this past super weekend, being at the literal top of the leaderboard for the super weekend. And then coming into this, Seven already said it, for these league play matches, they haven't been doing as well. They played 5 out of their 8 matches and they only have 7 points right now. And I mean, I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, maybe they don't need to go, maybe they don't need to get into that super weekend, but definitely it's kind of different expecting their gameplay to have changed so drastically. So again, I think we chose a good selection of teams. Hopefully we'll get it right. I mean, yesterday we got 2, so maybe we'll get some more today. But is there any last things that we should go on ahead and 7 keep in mind when we're about to be jumping into this first Miramar game, specifically about teams, hot drops, or even considering that this is the last day of these league play matches?
Listen, I want to see what Navi's going to be doing, okay? 3 matches yesterday, 1 point. Come on, Navi. Because if they continue on that roll, something that we hinted at yesterday, if I'm one of those top teams and I kind of want to have a cool super weekend, just not have to worry about some of those heavier teams that know they can eliminate you, I'm going to try to hunt down Navi. And I'm sorry, Navi fans, but I will personally want to do that, especially if you're one of those bottom teams. That's going to benefit you in a good way because now you don't have to worry about Navi either. How about you, Glitter? Any team that kind of you got in the back of your head?
I mean, I don't think it's just going to be Navi, Seven. I think it might be all of those teams that are in the bottom 4 might potentially have massive targets on their backs right now. And that's mainly because, not because that they're not good enough to win those engagements, but because they are holding on to precious spots that other teams need when it comes to super weekend points. So they don't need, like, I know we want Futbolist to do better. I know we want Fenerbahce to get the ever elusive chicken dinner, right? They need that. They need to do that, but they also don't need it because they've done so well in those previous super weekends. And if I'm Mad Bulls or Besiktas or Eastern Stars, any of those teams, I'm making sure that I'm getting into the super weekend because of those points. And then it all resets for finals and it's that clean slate, but they have to make it there first.
That's very true. That's very true. And a thing I think we forgot to go on ahead and mention, so I'm going to say real quickly, is that the teams that are going to be participating in this first match is groups A, B, D, and E. So group C sitting out, and that is Alpha 7, Black Dragons, Mad Bulls, and Unicorns of Love. And Unicorns of Love, I mean, we've been seeing their consistency so far. Yesterday, they're going to be sitting out in this first match. And that kind of begs the question, those 4 teams sitting out, I wonder if that's going to go on ahead and influence anybody else going on ahead and taking the chicken. Of course, I don't know if that's a really answerable question, maybe open-ended, but Seven, if you want to give it a shot.
Oh, for sure, for sure. With Alpha 7 not being here, and I'm going to have to talk about Navi again. I mean, I feel like this is the time to take advantage. Yesterday, they got a chance to play without Alpha 7. We saw what's been happening this week of League Play. They've been hunting them down. And after this match, I think Alpha 7 and Navi are pretty much going to be playing every single match after that. So I will be looking forward to seeing what they do. Now, another team that I'm going to be looking at that it is going to be playing is Supermassive Blaze. They're currently within that point system that they're going to be able to make it to the super weekend. Are they going to want a hot drop Ghost Gaming in this one? I know we hinted at it yesterday. We got so hyped up about it, but it wasn't even happening because they weren't in the match. But in this one, I would love to see it. I will love to see another hot drop. I would love to see how Ghost reacts to it. And I will also love to see how Supermassive Blaze reacts to it as well if they do end up winning that engagement.
Okay, well, again, we don't have long to wait. We're going to be jumping straight into our first match here. We're going to keep all of that information in mind and see who's just going to come out on top. So here we go, on to Miramar with Highland Wolf and Necro.
Thank you very much, Span and the Analyst desk. We're here up for the second day of Miramar, starting us off on the league stage for week number 3. PMGC West, as always. And I think that, quite frankly, I did not want to put in PMGC West and Navi at 1 point. I thought about it earlier coming into the day, And even though, right, they've missed 2 games so far, and they've still to play all 5 games today, to see them in 20th position with 1 point, what is going on with Na'Vi?
I know, right? It's kind of like hard to believe it in certain ways, but we need to start things off like with the classic Dave things, right? How Dave says West Side is the best side. We gotta say that, man. Come on, that's how we started
West
off
Side
over
is
here.
the best side.
Yep, it is the best side without a doubt. But yeah, Na'Vi sitting all the way in the bottom, kind of 20th spot, man. I don't really like to see that. Pretty much unexpected coming inside, but the play and fly path over here, Jake, has played a crucial role, going all the way from down south. The teams that do want to make it up top, La Cobreria, especially A7, they like to go there. Imagine they're going to be having such a tough task.
Yeah, I mean, when you look towards, unfortunately, S2G, unfortunately, they will be getting themselves put down. 1 kill already put away. Supermassive Blaze kept gonna put him down, but I think he might not get away with that punishment.
He does.
Just to come back. Yeah, he just got over the hill, just barely in time. That's a cheeky one. I feel like Supermassive Blaze is starting off a little bit dirty. Is J7 also in a 1v1 versus Supermassive Blaze? And this is interesting to me because Supermassive Blaze, not really the team that expected to change it up with Picardo, but instead is splitting a 4-man, one-side drop here early on. Kusera, he might even knock down Polo here. It's on the flank side though. He needs that support. It's a 2v1 situation, and Kusera, he's already down. J7 gonna knock him out into oblivion, and Tron and KF are nowhere near to support. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, that you do not make the 4-man split drop in Miramar, or in any map, to be fair, because yes, it can work out, but also this can happen. Kusera can just lose his life in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, man, that's pretty unfortunate. It's pretty much like Supermassive Blaze. They took a dig on enemy team, and now it's pretty much just like karma hitting them back early off. 1 man taken out. Supermassive Blaze handicapped to a 3-man squad. They will have to try and make things work. But on the other hand, yeah, we were on that Na'Vi talk. I feel like another team that has been really struggling. Okay, Production. I feel like at this point, the Production just has like those thug life, you know, like those memes, if you remember. They just have like those glasses on, and they're just like, you know, just memeing around, dude.
Dude, it is straight up out of, you know, that Star Wars where it's a Sith and he has the hood over and he's like, do it. This is exactly what the Production is. Yeah. Coming in with these memes, coming in with the savagery as always. Feeling so bad for Fenerbahce, as we said, right? Only 13 points as well, and I think also the analysts rightly so talked about it. These 4 teams at the bottom, we didn't expect these to be the teams at the bottom. I think there is some light at the end of the tunnel, as we said. Na'Vi, Aton as well, all to still play another 5 games today. Also, so do Fenerbahce. I think my big concern, though, is Footballers, right? Who have already played 5 games so far. They're still to sit out games 2 and 3 today. Are they even likely to make it? Because they need some big games in these next 3 matches to be able to secure their spot there.
Exactly. That's what I was about to talk, right? I was about to talk about Footballers. Now, week 2 has been their week. But again, going inside week 3 as well, you need to make sure you're doing pretty good to at least keep your consistency going in forward inside the Super Weekends. Because we saw S2G had quite a dominating lead in the week 1, but then in week 2, it seemed like S2G's lead was caught up pretty easily by Alpha 7. So now, Footballers need to realize the same thing. There is a high chance that their position might be compromised on the leaderboards if they're not really able to make it in the Super Weekend 3, because still there is that bottom 4 threat lingering on their head. So Footballers will have to make a lot of things happen on this second day. On this other hand, Fenerbahce as well, if you remember, they barely qualified in the Super Weekend 2, so I don't really know what to expect from Fenerbahce, but they have been doing quite good in the Super Weekends.
Yeah, it was the first week, right? Fenerbahce stepped up, they were able to come out with the results, but week 2, it didn't look so hard. In week 3, I don't think we've really seen the Fenerbahce that we were looking for and what we saw previously. I think also, when you're coming closer now in towards this zone as well, phase 1 and how this affects these teams, and it's not just Fenerbahce right on the bottom, but Team Queso that I want to talk about, and their rise. Of course, they're only in 11th position with 20 points, and that is a tight leaderboard. They're still going to need to play for more points. They do have all 5 games to keep in mind today. But they're in a defensive position is, I think Blue Chef's hand is going to dodge out that one, speaking of Fenerbahce, but I digress. Team Queso in the center of Monte Nuevo inside of this first phase zone. Actually, I think that Team Queso, good position here if they can control this, because I think that looking towards this center point, you've got the two players on the hillside of Montino Wave, a good opportunity there to find the kills, to find the potential of enemies coming in around you, but we've not really seen, crucially, I think, Team Queso control on early phase zone. This is something they're going to have to do currently with their current position.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Just straight up walks into his crosshair. Polo. Oh, couldn't really do much saving there. Was completely unaware of Xset's players, and they also are just waiting for Savian to be out in the open. And as soon as he was, they just striked him because they knew Savian cannot fight back in that position. Even if he does try to, only he will get away with a little bit of damage because there was a perfect crossfire set on those rocks. On the other hand, Fenerbahce take a little dig on the Bullock chopped on. Reyes is there on the top, but still, it's going to be next to impossible to save the fallen man. So Fenerbahce going to be getting themselves that first kill. At least that should amp up their aggression inside the lobby, and at the same time give them a little bit of more confidence to work with inside the day 2. Again, as I mentioned, in week 2, they barely qualified in the top 16. This time in week 3, Fenerbahce, I do not really want to see the same performance from their side.
Fenerbahce, as we said, right, they are one of these teams that they can improve. I'm more looking towards Balucheptan, right, because they also had that massive week 2. And it's something we mentioned coming into yesterday, where there's this trend of teams that do really well in 1 week, and then suddenly the next week they don't perform so hot. In this sense, so Balucheptan, yes, they're in 11th position currently. I still feel like Balucheptan, though, they need to perform slightly better because they are, of course, going to keep in mind, miss out also in 2 games today. Plus, they are required, essentially, to get into the Super Weekend. I don't think 27 points is enough to get them in there. And my concern now is already losing a member. How are we going to fare? Because as we know, members have been so crucial to keeping those 4-mans alive in Miramar. And we know that from previous games so far in the PMGC West, losing these members and losing the opportunity to find more ways into zones, find more information, find more positioning power. The skill switch will go down as well. Speaking of fallen men, it means that you don't likely get that win. It's been the teams that have always had those 4 members, 3 members towards those extremely late zones. On Miramar, they have consistently come out on top, not the solos or the duos.
When it comes to Xset, we've always seen that one man going down from the side of Xset, no matter what. Xset is one of those teams that always have an early casualty in the game, and it's like the rest 3 players just trying to carry the flag forward. And Xset need to try and do something about it, because most of the times it seems like they're just running around like headless chickens, right? So at least since what we've been watching since all these 2 weeks up till now. Yesterday, they seemed pretty strong. They tried to go for those placement points. They tried to play as consistent as possible, but still carrying the momentum forward in day 2. That's what I'm really worried for. On the other hand, now Furious Gaming taking a couple shots on the players of Ghost. I think so we're able to knock one player out and also confirm the kill. But Ghost trying to reply back. I don't really feel like they're going to be finding any shots till now. Just Ghost, though, still just trying to suppress down Furious Gaming, but the damage has already been dealt.
It's not just that, though, right? As you said, it's sort of Xset. Furious Gaming as well, one of these teams. Very high up on the leaderboard.
Oh.
Furious Gaming, not going to find that kill, I don't think. But they are currently sat in 4th position. 44 points so far. As you can see, people beginning to climb to some of this mountainside around Montino Wave. As we said, the high ground going to be very crucial. I think that obviously it is going to be crucial to see if they can find these kills. Otherwise, the opponent, whoever they are, will have that extreme high ground. I think they don't get it. They don't get it.
He's up. Look up.
He's
above. He's all the way on top. Scream, you're still looking below.
Triggerson's dead. I'm trying to shoot down on someone and then Triggerson dies. I mean, what's going on?
I got no clue. There's just like fights going on all across the board right now. Bodies are hitting the deck as well. On the other hand, Bullock, as you mentioned, yeah, my eyes are as well out for this team. And look at this. It's just some gangster style by Reyes. Just firing on behind the bike. Frozen as well, trying to find some engagements over here, trying to find some connections. As we talk about connection, he finds one. Reyes being taken down. Maidon is there to try and make the res happen, but still shouldn't really be that big of a deal for Bullock to get the res back up on the fallen man. On the other hand, next Ruya, they're not really going to be pushing in. It does make quite a lot of sense. It's a complete open ground in the front, so maybe holding your horses and holding this position they have is probably the best choice they can make for now. Bullock, still though, trying to take a little bit of shots. No connections being found from the side of Bullock yet, but keep this in mind. Bullock are down to just a 3-man squad, so the pressure's on Bullock.
Yeah, next point can keep this pressure onto Bullock right now, but we do need to keep in mind that zone in phase 2 did shift upwards towards El Pozo, so I would like to see next point move over towards that more western side of the zone. Take those hills actually to the west of El Pozo, because sitting in this current position, you are going to be likely of a lot of these teams rotating on top of you. There's not really a way backwards if teams do leapfrog you behind. So making sure you are the first member through. So
what is going on?
Trying to do the same right. Zed is driving straight through Apis, but why isn't Apis shooting? I think
what is going on from the side of Aton, dude? Like, they're just driving all out in the open. They just don't care about Eastern Stars. It's like they're just not scared of them. Aether's trying to connect a couple of shots. Yeah, it's like, it just seems like they're not mentally present. Aether's trying to, like, at least take a couple of shots down, try to get the knock on the player of Aton. They have successfully 1-man down, but still Aton, it just seems like they're not scared of anything at this point in time. Eastern Stars, on the other hand, though, trying to play things a little safe. Milos goes down in the close. That's a huge knock. Eastern Stars now, they have a huge advantage inside this fight, but still, it could have went south on either side. On the other hand, Bazi all the way across the field, trying to take a couple shots, making sure he's pinning down the player Aton, just putting the maximum pressure on these lads. Dr. Octavian now moving it forward, confirming the kill on Milos, and Aton just left with 2 men alive. And as we talk about the overall rankings of Aton as well, they're all the way in the bottom, bro, and they need to step it up.
I'm just really confused with Aton's positioning, because I think they're trying to bait in the shots of Kapahala or Bazzi to try knock them down, but you look at the position of Eastern Stars, they're a 2-2 split, so even if one falls, the other can just find a revive. So that's on a big mistake there, trying to bait, but just getting overlooked by all of the Eastern Stars members, and now they're in trouble. But unfortunately, so are, as you said, Eastern Stars. Right now, they also wants a piece of this zone. Is Navi so desperate for it? Only 1 point, but you look towards this position. They're on the south side, but in the zone, the blue zone, should I say, the play zone has gone back over to Monte Nuevo. But look at how close these players are together. I think that Na'Vi, yes, it could go for these kills. Yes, it could try get points. But I want to see Na'Vi rotate into that zone, in towards the south side, as they're doing. Because getting that position over Laterela Hill is going to be so crucial at taking out Team Queso. Because otherwise, whoever wins out of that fight is going to come in and pincer Na'Vi between Queso and themselves.
Oh, that might be a good net. Yup. Deal a decent amount of damage. Not enough, though. Still, Coops leading the pack, leading the charge. Xenox does know there is 1 man in the front. Xset J7 all the way separated out from the rest of the pack. Can't even call it a pack at this point. It's just 2 players left. It's Jay all the way far away from him. But still, I don't really understand this huge separation coming out from the side of Xset. At this point in time in the game, J7 and Jay should be together next to each other, trying to help each other out. Maybe they can also set a crossfire in these kind of situations. But over here, on the other hand, Knights, you realize there is still a little bit of threat. Here comes the cavalry from their side, and here comes the push. J7 being spotted from the back, cannot really do much. Gets taken out easily, and Knights, threat out the way now. Knights are going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable in this spot.
Is it just a way to put question marks all over the map right now? I feel like we're watching...
I don't know what's... Yeah, I feel like I'm watching a normal PUBG game.
Do you know what it feels like? It feels like we're watching a zone that is gone up high towards the north, and the playing path was to the south. But the problem is, that zone didn't go high up north. It stayed towards the south side, just like the playing path was. So these teams, these players, they're very split in the way that they're playing. I think they're trying to play for information a lot more in this game, but equally, they're finding themselves caught out of position. As we said, that southern playing path means that a lot of these players are already naturally going to be close together. So as a result, I think these players caught out repeatedly by surprise. Rise also going to rotate straight into the face of Na'Vi.
Oh, look at that. Here comes the approach from the side of Rise. Tixie in the close. Oh, almost gets taken care of, but no, it's Tixie replying back. And Rise talking about this team. They rotated all the way from the right side, all the way down south, and now that's quite a huge rotation from the side of Rise. I do like how they're using their brains in these matches. And Rise now, Noon is taken down quite low. He needs to back off. The res on the Mythic seems next to impossible. On the other hand, Na'Vi, they shouldn't really struggle a lot in getting their fallen man Tixie back up. But look at this play from the side of Na'Vi. They're creating a flank angle, if I'm not wrong. 1 man just left with a buggy just to create a backside angle. And yes, that's exactly what happened. Matic was the man who left with a buggy. He did get a couple of shots, but also at the same time, he's getting some shots onto himself. So shots are being traded back and forth. And Rise now able to shook away Matic again back to safety. And Rise, they do realize in this fight, it's their loss, so maybe they should try and go for another route.
Yeah, I like that coming through from Na'Vi, the patience, because Mufasa, he had such a great angle, but he's inside the blue zone. So as long as Na'Vi play for time, they don't have to take that fight. They can actually choke the rest of Rise out and force him in anyways. Is Aston also approaching him behind? Could be that upset member, but I think Asta is just going to lose his life elsewhere to the blue zone or a rogue bullet here and there. As he barely heals in, I think yes, should be able to find it, but I don't think he's long for this world as we do head back onto Rise's position. And Gary has moved further up towards this side. Moon is also going to cover. But as they approach the firefight inside, of course, his zone will continue to ensue. Knights barely taking a few shots in between. And we've got fighters, of course, on that eastern side. We've got fights towards the south, but the zone is shifted northwest. And I think his teams... Mufasa going to get knocked down by Asta. That was a surprise and assassination coming through from him. They need to be able to move into the zone. They're playing it too slow again. Yes, they were trying to play too fast, moving in earlier on, but now another hard shift back towards the north means that these players are all towards the south side. They're going to fall behind.
There's not a lot of players in South, though. You only see Rise, Aton, and Na'Vi, and Aton pretty much, it seems like, making it out alive from that position or situation is going to be quite tough. Yeah, I do see that they have a vehicle which they can try and utilize to get inside the zone pretty quickly, but I'm going to hold on to my words for now because Footballists, it seems like they're able to make sure that Knights isn't really overstepping themselves. One man being taken out from the side of Knights, that's going to be pushing them a little bit back. But Sheiktas in the front of Knights. Coops now, he has to deal with a lot of threat in the front. There's like 3 players of Footballists. Coops definitely has pressure surmounting on top of him, but on the other hand, still is trying his best to fight back with the utilities. Needs to find one connection. One successful connection from his side can change a lot of things. But I saw something on the kill feed, Jake, and it seems like one man of Na'Vi just fell down to his death. But I'm going to hold on to my word again because this is where Coops is trying to strike back. Finds one, looking for the second, pulls out the UMP in the close quarters. Did connect a couple of shots, but still is only able to get one.
Alucard is moving in. He makes a flag, but just as Chico goes down, they will need to find a revive. In fact, they don't think I have to worry about it because it's 2 down. Chico's dead. It's all over. I think for Knights in this situation, if Ram and Lutz could just hold on to Xenox on the front, Nate pushes him back, almost walks into it. Asson as well, going to fall in the midst of the fight in the kill feed, but it's another to drop for Knights as they're down to a solo, but barely making a revive. Alucard back in on front as Besiktas also going to fall as they take 2 fights at once, but it's no problem for Lutz and Footballists. They'll take all of them down. There's another falls on Knights.
Oh, it's a 2v4 now. Alucard again on the front page. He's just not scared of Footballists, but there's just too many men to handle, so he's not going to be able to successfully do it this time. But Jay, oh no, he's just being a man. He's just kind of being the annoying little man from the back, just trying to take a couple of shots, just trying to get that kill. Wasn't really able to successfully do so, but in the end, Footballists, they just get a beautiful squad wipe for themselves on the Knights, and they're going to be quite happy after that one because Knights is quite a solid team. Now Eastern Stars and S2G. S2G were quite handicapped early off in the game, and now to bounce back from this situation, if S2G are able to take care of Eastern Stars, which haven't been looking up to the mark lately, shouldn't really be that tough of a task for S2G, right?
This is next Royals game. I'm just going to call it right now. I'm saying next Royals,
yeah,
they should be able to clearly win out this game. That hillside up towards that northwest is going to be so powerful for all of those teams closing in. You can't even rotate up in towards Kudo and Nihat because there's going to be, again, that open space wrapping around the mountainside that isn't even mostly inside of the zone. S2G also going to fall, though, as they do make their first progress inside of that zone itself. And Timber is going to get caught onto the bridge and onto the tree, sorry, should I say, but still made of wood either way. And Timber, I think he may be just cracked down under the pressure. No, he won't, as Timber barely gets away. Will drop down to half HP, but he does get out of Eastern Stars. Not for much longer, though. There we go, I've jinxed it. Next Roy, they've been able to get it. I thought he would survive, but next Roy, they still slap him down anyways. They're actually going to find a kill, though, as Baluch Tan will steal it. Is out of the S2G down to 1 member, and now they're only going to play spoiler or heal. Whichever comes first is Eastern Stars, also up against Na'Vi, restricting Eastern Stars' ability to push away from this compound.
Oh, here we go. Na'Vi, they will have to sweep their way inside the zone because passing through Eastern Stars is going to be a little tough, and also it's going to be time-consuming. So Na'Vi, they will have to make this quick. Bazi taking a couple of shots from the back as well. There's a lot of pressure on Eastern Stars now. That's a perfect nade. Well-calculated nade from the side of Tixi to take care of that man from Eastern Stars. And now Kapahala, the only man left in the clothesline, trying to jump shot his way through. But the blue zone's dealing a lot of damage. The wall of death isn't going to stop anytime soon. So Na'Vi, they will have to make sure that they're putting the pedal on the metal this time. Tixi taken down quite low, and he's not going to be able to withstand the damage of the blue zone. And they will need to move in right next to H2G. Kelsey's the only man left alive, but he's focused on someone else for now. Does realize the threat is coming quite close. Matic is the man in the clotheslines, and if he is able to take care of one man, even one man from Na'Vi, Na'Vi's confidence will crumble down. On the other hand, Team Queso still able to make it alive till this late. That means maybe Team Queso, they will rack up a decent amount of points, but they only have one elimination up till now, Jake.
Yeah, it's not the kill points that they're looking for. They're still looking and playing for the placements overall. Is that zone, I think it's going to be so difficult to go for those placement points unless you have a position already satisfied inside of that zone. I mean, Footballist, Supermassive Blaze, Next Roy, they all have that position, but no one else does. It's about who's willing to make that push further in. Because unfortunately, Spec, he won't be up to the mark. Will drop down in the 7th position. This is now down. Also to Team Queso to make that move, but Exila's moment he puts his head up gets knocked away through. Will dodge out, but we've lost a vehicle, and now with no movement, no vehicle left for Team Queso, no 4th man, I think it's looking dark for Team Queso's move into the zone.
Oh man, it certainly is looking pretty dark. Fenerbahce in the front, just raining down death and destruction. They just don't have any other choice. Team Queso, they only have those smokes to work with, and smokes, of course, cannot block those bullets, so bullets are penetrating through, and Team Queso, they just cannot stop it. But Footballist over there is just trying to help out Team Queso a little bit, just to try and put a stop to the rain from the side of Fenerbahce, but still, 2 men being taken down. That's quite a lot of pressure already to crumble down to, but on the other hand, Supermassive Blaze getting charged on by Next Rio. That's a huge knock. Trying to be taken out the way now. Keth is the only man in the close. He has to deal with 2 players. He's able to take 1 man down. Keth down to half HP. He can still try and bounce back from this, and yes, he does. Single-handedly takes down 2 players. And now Keth looking to strike back. If he makes this clutch happen, it might be one of the most insane clutches, because keep this in mind, Next Rio, this is their game to lose.
Next Roy, I don't know how they've fallen so far into the hands of a few Supermassive Blaze members, but from SMB, they were looking like they were dropping early on, but he's just found an extra kill. Kefi's annihilating the hopes right now, finally dropped.
There we go.
But they lose a member. Kudos so low, will be revived barely in time. But that was a dangerous fight for them, and the damage, I think, has been done. Calcite will slip their way in onto the center of the zone and will try to play for placement points further. But I think they should be next. Fenerbahce rotating around the side, also equally trying to do the same. But it's now the tables turning back to Footballist. This game, which was, you could think, was Next Royers, now firmly should be in the grasp of Footballist, as they'll confirm even more. Team Queso knocked away by the zone, not willing to give them the extra points, but so many already garnered by Footballist. And they only look for even more. Is it's only Next Warrior who stand in their way, both with the zone, and it's up to phase 7 to decide who takes this game. Which side of the road will the blue zone take? Whose fate is in the hands of the blue?
Ayala falls down to the blue zone, and again, now Footballist. They're utilizing those buggies just to try and reposition themselves, but still the position being revealed by the sound of the buggy. Nextria, they will have a decent amount of info to work with. On the other hand, Footballist does know exactly where Nextria is in those compounds, so they can make sure they're pinning down Nextria. As you mentioned, it just comes down to this final zone where it's going to be shifting, because for now it's just holding right in the smack center. It's divided perfectly for both these teams, so they don't really need to worry about zone just yet. But look at this nice angle being created from the side of Rom. Was able to take a lot of shots onto Kudor, but still is barely able to survive from that. He's definitely going to be feeling the pain of that signature M416 though, for sure. But on the other hand, Footballist now still, I do like that 2-1 split coming in. Rom is able to like deal a lot of damage on the next Ria. But on the other hand, Frozen doing the same thing, separating himself out from the rest of the pack, and now is trying to take care of 2 players all by himself.
But in zone, Neko has gone over to the next Warrior. They might have been saved by that shift onto phase 7. They do have to move a little bit further forward, but as Footballers, they have to get really further up and more personal across that roadside. As you can see, Sulky Lovers in, but barely hanging on to the right edge of that 7th phase. And Kudo frozen, they know it. You can see them, they're starting to close in. Kudo using the smoke road to move up further, have more leverage over Footballer's position, and Lovesin rotates back around, but trying to find the Cypher away across this zone. But I don't think there's a solution. As next Royer, they have the compound as well. They have the cover, most importantly, something that Footballist do not have the luxury of.
Oh, Solke just trying to find any kind of damage at this point. One knock can mean a lot in these moments. It's a stalemate for now, but still. Do hear those gunshots going off. Oh, that nade was quite close. Solke is pretty much just blows right in front of him, but still is lucky and does not take any damage. It was right on the other side of the road. Another nade comes in from the side of Solke. A little bit overshoot from his side, but still it's going to be fine. As I mentioned, one knock can be a game-changing knock right there. It's a 3-3 situation. Both teams looking pretty equal up till now. Smoke walls being created just to make sure they're blocking that enemy vision. Next Rhea moving in real up close and personal. At any time, this stalemate, this quiet, this calm before the storm can break out. And well, Footballists, they do realize when players go down quite low, Nihat, oh, he needs to crawl back to safety.
Will survive if it's crucial, but around. That'll be a 10-second delay, and why does the smokes dissipate too? It's gonna be so difficult now. Solke, he has to hold the line. It's another nade, could spell the end if it lands straight onto the revive happening right now. It will go short, but they're trying to aim for it. And as all of the smokes clear out onto the clear battlefield now with nothing left but hope on these nades, as that will get even closer, but still will not land. I think the Footballists, they have to go in and they have to utilize that buggy. I think it's the only option they've really got left is about sending it in.
Oh no.
Because the zone has gone away again.
Yup, the zone again favoring Next Rhea. It's like the PUBG gods want Next Rhea to win this one. And look at this, a pan attempt. It's not going to be connecting though. There's no way. It's like 1 in a million chance at this point. But on the other hand, Footballists, yeah, as you mentioned, they just don't have any other choices. Use that buggy, and whoa, that's a huge nade from the side of Lovesin, and that was quite a crucial one as well. That's $1 million nade right there. The goal call being made. Rom making that crucial rotation happen. Runs another man over. What's going on? And Rom also goes down. Frozen now the only man left. We have seen this man just pull off some insane clutches in the past. Frozen able to take one man down, looking to take the second one. Is he going to be able to do so? Solke just bobbing and weaving his way through, trying to get real up close and personal. But this battle just comes down to this final moment. And Solke puts the final nail in the coffin. And Footballist, oh my god, it got real up close. It got real close in the end. Whew.
I don't know how Next Royer lost that game. Negro, that was like the equivalent of being blessed all the points in the world inside the PMGC West, and Next Royer, they couldn't hold it. The beautiful buggy play coming through from Ram, the MVP, quite frankly. They get an 8, they go in, he lands the execution with the buggy onto a second, and from then there's nothing left that Next Royer can do to split despite the zone being fair. They don't have to worry because Footballists have got the eye on target nades to secure the end of the game for them, and by golly did Footballists need that game though. I mean, Footballists, they were looking dead, they were looking down. 3 games left, they were in elimination
bottom 4
space. Right, exactly. They needed that point and they found it. They got it.
Oh man, they really needed this, as you mentioned. Yeah, in the bottom 4, but after that win, they are bounced up quite a lot up on the top 16. Not even top 16. I would say they should be in like top 10 after that chicken dinner, right? They had decent amount of elimination points as well. But yeah, in the end, Next Rhea, they did kind of screw things up over there. But I can't really blame Next Rhea as well over here, right? That nade from the side of Lovesin, it was just insane. I mentioned this 1,000 times as well, in that one knock can be a game-changing knock, and that's what exactly Footballists get. They get that crucial knock, and the goal call instantly was being made, and then that run over onto Nihat, that was a huge run over as well. And as soon as in the end, Solke just realized, okay, this is a do-or-die moment. I would rather try and go for it, just bobbing and weaving his way through, making sure that the enemy's missing as many shots as possible. And in the end, Solke was just able to connect those crucial headshots, those game-changing headshots, and they just won that game.
I just feel like Next Royer, they lost out on such a good opportunity to steal that game away. They couldn't control it, and they couldn't find those nades. And it was all down to those beautiful sand cues, right? But again, Footballists, they weren't moving. They were being so careful in their approach to deny Next Royer as much information as possible. And I think They just played that slightly better overall, of course, with their positioning. Footballers taking out win, but to look at the rest of his game, that's what I'm really curious at. And I think crucial right that Na'Vi do pick up some kills, but I still don't think that this was a game that we were looking from the likes of Na'Vi, from the likes of Fenerbahce. They still didn't perform as much as we would have liked them to. And my concern now is how are they going to fare coming into the next games, because they still need to find even better positions. They still need to find even better goals. Yes, Fenerbahce got the kills in this game, but the position points were still lacking.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the position points were definitely lacking, but in the end, it seems like they did make it to like top 5 if I'm not wrong. So Fenerbahce still, I would say, at least they got a decent amount of points out from this game. So Fenerbahce, that's definitely going to be giving them a little bit of more comfort level increase in going inside the second day as well. So let's just find out how Fenerbahce are going to be able to play in the future. But yeah, over here, Solke, this was a game. This was just an insane clutch coming in from his side. And gotta say, Lovezin, he needs to be a man to be praised at this point.
Oh man, Lovezin, I mean, yes, he needs, but it was a teamwork effort. Ram, he has a fantastic driving skills, and so okay Wednesday, baby, because it's all day back in the analyst desk.
I think I learned from Glitter Damas or something. I've channeled her energy. Look at that, Footballist won. I'm actually really excited. I got one, guys. I got one. That was an insane ending though, Seven. I mean, it came down to a 1v1.
It really did. And I mean, I'm just gonna put this out there. Next Ruya, you through. You're absolutely through. But Footballist, to be fair for them, I mean, they played that so well. And I love the aggressiveness that Footballist just showed us there, Glitter. As soon as they got the knock, Raum got in that car and he just went for it.
Honestly, it was the best choice that they made. Because the second they had the advantage, they knew they couldn't waste it. They couldn't give next Ruya enough time to reset off of that. And then they added insult to injury by also getting the run over. Okay, the run over elimination. They had mollies going. It was very, very well played out by Footballist when they knew that they were eventually going to have to push across that road. But speaking of Raum, we've MVP. Okay, over 1,000 damage, 5 elims. This is a fantastic performance for Footballist, almost a return to form, because they have not been playing to the level that we were expecting them to play at.
Yeah, not gonna lie,
Yeah,
that team contribution should have been a little bit higher, because if it wasn't for that full send from him and also running over the other player, I feel like it would have been a completely different story here, Sven.
I definitely agree. I was going to say as well, like 5 whole games. Now this one finally kind of bringing it back. Glad to kind of see that. I gotta say as well, I mean, Seven, you said Team Queso, and they ended up being able to make it into that end game as well. We had also mentioned Fenerbahce, and they were also in the end game. So it seems like a couple of these teams that we said to keep an eye on immediately got into the end game this time.
Definitely. I mean, you don't want to wait until the second game of today, the final day of Week of League plays, to try to make it to Super Weekend. It's now or never, in a way, before that last match started. And Team Queso now, they're able to push themselves to 11th place with 32 points, but keep in mind that it doesn't really mean anything because of how close some of the other teams are. Luckily for them, they do have some teams under them that have played more matches than them. I think it was 2 more matches than them, so they do got that towards their going their way. Another thing that I really enjoyed is, I mean, the aggressiveness that they showed against Bulu Chatan, dot player, being able to just get taken away. I think that was huge. And for them to be working together, that's what it seemed like, at least for me, Glitter. It seemed like the team was definitely working together. And at one point, they decided, you know what, we're going to have to go for the heal strat. And even though they went for the heal strat, Glitter, you pointed this out, one of the players, I think it was Ayala, that was the last player there for Team Queso, he was still able to secure an extra healing point.
Yeah, you know, just trying to get as many points on the board in those moments as they can. And we've seen them do that in the past. We saw them do that yesterday. I think it was Axel that did it last time. So they're trying, okay? They're doing their best. They're scraping as many points as they can to keep themselves in a top 16 spot. And that's going to be necessary if teams like Football start performing, if Fenerbahce starts performing in those spots, start getting chipped away at, because Team Queso was right there at the bottom with Ghost for this week's top 16.
Oh geez, so many teams to go ahead and keep our eyes on. Of course, so many teams to go ahead and take a vote on as well. As a reminder, you guys can go ahead and vote for your favorite PMGC teams and players and go ahead and get yourself some rewards. All you have to do is get a voting ticket by logging into the game, watch live in the Esports Center, share the voting page, and of course find more information there. But basically, go play PUBG Mobile, get millions of rewards, including a ton of various pink level permanent items only during this PMGC period. And of course, this is the very last week of the plays before this region's final, so gotta go ahead and continue to do it while you can. Also, we gotta go ahead and ask that chat a question as well. We're starting off nicely. Put in chat your answers, y'all. Which teams are you hoping to qualify for this super weekend? That's a heavy question, so go ahead, put your answers in the chat. But otherwise, that is it for our very first match. We still have 4 more matches today, all for our second day here. Still a lot in the line. Gotta get into that top 16 to qualify for the super weekend. We'll be right back with our second match just after this break.
They're going to be holding off the entirety of DRS, pushing in onto this onslaught now. Knock has taken place. Just going to be falling on top. This is a very smart play. Oh no, Nima!
L easy come behind side here from Yesma Poliana. Nice. They could move closer. They could try to stick together. They find the revive coming from those stereotypical location.
Yeah, boy.
So we saw these teams drop on by. Don't do it. Don't save it. The paraglider is useless, okay?
Velo though in a position to maybe receive open arms Reggie in a battle of his own.
Roger that.
Wall does get done. Will get down. Back up.
Help me! Roger that.
Sarah, in the meantime, has managed to push all the way up. But it's the holdout coming through from the Deadeye's guy. Straight through the window. Plants some.
Just starting to make their way outside of Cheeky, which I would argue is a little bit too late. A couple of teams would like to go out. Helicopter! Extend it more, and I'm sure others will join in on the mix. If there's ever a time to say, helicopter!
It was at this moment that Nathan knew. He f***ed up.
No!
Yes, kills, but this will make it big for Semnon if they can get the chicken dinner. Now we're seeing a lot more information here. What? What? He goes back in! Semnon will chicken dinner! What?
Welcome back to PMGC West League. We're about to be going into our very second match, and it's going to be on a different map. First was Miramar. Next up is going to be the trusty Erangel. I'm excited to see who's going to go on ahead and take this one, because even this last match came down to just a very close 1v1. So 7. Let's just get right on into it. Let's start talking about Erangel and these groups now kind of switching out. We no longer have Footballist Furious Gaming, Eastern Stars, and Nextria inside of this next match.
I know, I kind of feel bad for Ballers being able to get that chicken dinner and then just now having to sit out and watch what happens in this game. Although some of the other teams are going to be able to take advantage of that. I'm going to be looking at Mad Bulls. This is a team that we've been talking about. Needs those points. I think they're coming into today with 30 points. So if they can at least get a good performance here, secure maybe along the lines of 12 to 13 points, I think they will set themselves up for greatness, at least for the rest of the day in regards to qualifying to Super Weekend. It's going to be interesting. I'm also going to be looking at, I got to say it, YouTube chat, I'm going to be looking at Alpha 7 versus Navi Glitter.
You love keeping your eyes on that rivalries. We're checking out the most damage here up on our screen. We got a little bit of everything. We got football, a supermassive plays. Next, Ruria. Honestly, the 1v1 with Frozen at the end there, with the plays that we've seen Frozen have, I really did think that Footballist was in trouble for a fraction of a second, but, you know, they shut down those fears very, very quickly.
Oh, man. Very quickly, but very quickly as well, let's go ahead and go over these next teams for predictions as per usual, because again, kind of some unexpected stuff. Who do you think is going to go ahead and take this one? Again, 7. Let's start over to you, Erangel, this time.
You know, I feel like I went last time. Glitter, you go first, Glitter. Which one you got this one?
Okay, I think this is going to be the only time that I'm going to say them because they don't have too many games left, but we're starting off our first Erangel match with XZ. I want XZ to have one more strong match, you know, strong week, end it out. You're in second. They started off today in second place. Let's just have maybe one more chicken dinner. Just get it on the board. Come on, you can do this.
Okay.
At least one. At least
Ben?
one more. Okay, okay.
How about you?
Oh, me next. Me next. Okay, yeah. I kind of want to go on ahead and toss on over to Supermassive Blaze, in my opinion, because I think, I mean, we've seen it already. They're able to go on ahead and grab some chickens, and I think that they need to go on ahead and make the Super Weekend. I'm just going to put it on Supermassive Blaze. Now 7, though. Now you can't escape it. You got to go last.
Yeah. So last night I had a movie night with my fiance. We ordered some amazing queso, and I thought it was something with the universe telling me, you know what, just keep on picking Team Queso. So for this next match, once again, I'm gonna go with Team Queso. They did really great in the last one, even though they really weren't able to get a lot of elims. But I'm hoping they continue to secure those points. I would love to see this team in the Super Weekend.
Okay, okay. I mean, you chose them last time and they ended up getting up in that 4th place position. So maybe this time they make it into that top 3. I mean, that's why you got to keep an eye on them. We got to see if they're able to go ahead and kind of pull it off, perform, make it into this very first Super Weekend for them if they go ahead and make it. But luckily, look at that. We don't have to wait long to go ahead and kind of test it out on Erangel. Once again, we talked about our expectations for Miramar. Anything you guys want to say before we're jumping on in to Erangel?
I would like a Southern Zone 7. Pull it, just shift it south, make things crazy, bridge camps. You know, I want an exciting first Erangel match.
YouTube chat, the only reason why she's saying go south is because yesterday when it went south in the bridge camp, I love how she mentioned that, Exit ended up winning the game. I see what you're doing, and I don't mind it. I'm for it too.
Okay, okay. I believe Team Queso also was kind of on top of that bridge last time it went south as well. So I guess we have a lot to look forward to coming into this match. So let's just go ahead, jump right on into it, send it on over to Highland Wolf and Necro once again for our first Erangel matchup today.
PMGC West, the best side. Here is the west side. I got it in here. Necro, I was waiting all day for that one just to make sure it was great. And I'm ready, because also, you know who else we're looking at right now is the beautiful, beautiful Unicorns of Love. And I want to talk about them straight away. Yes, we talked about disappointments of Na'Vi, but on the rise and out from the ashes of Na'Vi has been Unicorns of Love right now. Yes, they had a great week 1, not so great week 2, but week 3, it turned around to double MVPs, GK first, Lin stepping up together on day 1, and I am hyped to see what they can do now in these next 4 games today.
You know what really I like about Unicorns of Love is that each and every single player from that team is just really good individually, right?
Yes.
For example, from A7 we see like Carrillo or Mafioso kind of stepping up most of the time, just going for that frags. But on the other hand, Unicorns of Love, each and every single player I feel like is just really good when it comes to those duels.
I mean, they're scary, right? When you have not only the individual skill, but when they play together, it's this great one team, and they're able to still, even after sitting down 1 game, some of these guys have played an extra game in Unicorns of Love, and they're still comfortably inside of that top side. As Zaton, also a big first blood for them, as Asta's going to strike 1 down against Fenerbahce. Feels bad, man. Oh no, we jinxed it. We jinxed it again. Necro, Team Queso, they get cheesy with us right now. Lin's going down. No more MVP for him.
Yeah, I mean, Team Queso really need this though, you know? At least they got a nice elimination to start the at least game off over here. So Team Queso, they're quite desperate. They need this, and as we do know, they need to qualify inside this Super Weekend. They're looking so up till now. They're on like pretty looking good. They're on like 7th place. They're up in that top 16. So Team Queso, there are high chances that maybe in the week 3 they're going to be able to make it in the Super Weekend. But yeah, again, 7 said that Team Queso is probably going to be winning this game as well. So let's just find out, are they going to be able to do so or not? As they were also having to talk about how the Southern Zone is where Team Queso kind of like, you know, just goes for those bridge camps, which is quite understandable. They drop near fair appear and stuff. But again, I feel like when it comes to that Southern Zone, Team Queso just gets like, they just get so dedicated in camping that bridge that they just forget to rotate inside. And I've seen so many times where Team Queso are just so dedicated in camping that bridge and they just get taken out camping that bridge.
Yeah, sometimes it does work for them. Sometimes get the kills.
Yeah.
We saw it right in Game 5 yesterday. They were performing fairly well. They got in that 3rd position overall. They got the kills as well. But we're going to have to play it slightly differently. Actually, you know, I will have to hold on my thoughts. Because I thought with Black Dragons that we're going to hold on to that bridge. They were positioned there on the western side. But they do give it up to go down towards the South Island. I think that's a slight mistake coming through from Black Dragons. Unless they're planning on looting up, as they usually do, right, in South Northca, a late rotation back through the eastern bridge in towards Milton. This is very reliant on the zone. And my big concern over them is if that zone goes way up high north, how are they going to fare with that? Because they're already, of course, behind, rotating the only team to the military base. Do they have enough time to loot effectively and still make it back up, potentially all the way up to that northern Erangel side, past Roshoff?
Yeah. That's a good point from your side, right? Black Dragon's going all the way down military base right now to loot when there's already like, when you're already like pretty much all these like almost 1 or 2 minutes deep, or 4 minutes actually deep inside the game, and now you're going to be going inside military base, getting yourself the comfort loot. So Black Dragon is definitely quite a late move from their side, but still, let's just find out, are they going to be able to make it outside the military base safely or not? Because that's the main task for them for now, if you're going all the way down south. On the other hand, now Ghost, of course, dropping inside Pachinki there. They are looking in the smack center of the zone as well. I do want to see how they're going to be playing this circle out. On the other hand, I'm going to hold on to my words for now, because Exit, oh, quite close to Mad Bull's Yin Yang.
I've not seen a fight just yet in PMGC West on our side around the quarry. I love this side, though, because this is where I think that Mads, they should have this control. They dropped here, and you can see that they're going split. They're Exet together. They will actually use the edge of that hillside to dodge out the shots from the opposite end, and they know their stuff, rightly as they should, to not get caught out, and they should solo out, potentially, Yin Yang. But Yin Yang purposely not moving a muscle. As it's all about staying silent in this situation. And it's all about getting Monkey, getting the rest of Mad Bulls together to be able to fight Exet in that Hermano fight. As Exet, of course, do have that number.
Oh no, oh no.
Don't do it. If it lands through.
Oh, it no.
Oh, it barely missed. Oh, it barely missed. That was so close.
Lucky.
I saw the lights leave Yin Yang's eyes.
Oh my god, his life definitely flashed before his eyes for sure. Nate quite close, wasn't really able to make it in though, so Yin Yang's gonna be safe for now. But is he gonna be able to save for now? Is he gonna be able to be safe for at least a little bit more? That's the huge question that I'm asking myself. Molly out. Yin Yang, it seems like he's put himself on fire. No, that's not a good move, Yin Yang. And that Molotov definitely not was perfectly placed as well. But Killswitch on the other hand gets knocked out from that Molly, so maybe it was a little helpful. But still, the trades are happening back and forth on both these sides. Killswitch goes down, but only different is that Killswitch is revivable over here. So they're going to be going for the res on to Killswitch. Mad Bulls, on the other hand, they're going to be looking sad after that engagement.
Sad Bulls indeed. I don't know what just happened there. I think they, the rest of Yin Yang, he was trying to find a shot. I mean, yes,
that was passed.
It almost found it. Almost got a shot in, but it wasn't quite there. And they're going to feel ultra sad Bulls now as they've got to run for the hills. One less Bull in the squad. And also keep in mind their positioning here. They're outside the zone. They've been pushed away, of course, by Exets. And now they're going to have to rotate, potentially, I would say, through Gatka Fields, which isn't the most ideal. It is open just now, and it should remain open, considering the positions of these players and these squads are most likely going to remain towards that eastern side. But Effect might not live to see that day.
As you mentioned, Effect might not live to see that day. Finds one, but he just doesn't really have a lot of breathing space. He is going to suffocate down to death. And Exet just taking that man down. Effect being taken out the game. Now, I also did see kind of Unicorn's Love shining up on the kill feed. Na'Vi was the one who they got a knock on. So Na'Vi, they're going to be looking to at least fight back in that situation. But on the other hand, now Knights, one man goes down. Alucard's down low. He's bleeding out to his death. And Knights, they need to make sure that they're providing that cavalry. But Supermassive Blaze, it seems like they're just going to be running that man over to confirm that kill. Monkey's still alive from the side of Sad Bulls. He has found himself this little house to play with. They are on the 11th position for now, but still, again, Mad Bulls, they will have to at least play this one out as safe as possible. You talk about consistency, and today is the day of consistency.
Yeah, Mad Bulls, they are set on 30 points, so if you don't have to worry, this game can be a write-off for them. We've still got more to come. They've still got all 4 matches to play for many today, but it's still a knock to the confidence. It's down to 2 members. They can rotate, I think, back through the Quarry Hills, just where Xset did come from, and meet back up later in the match. But you are relying on doing that quickly because Xset also going to do the same. So you want to actually overtake Xset in that rotation in because you don't want to be again pincered by them. And it's the same mistake that they just did. Black Dragons, we talked about them escaping through the bridges. They will, as we expected, go up against the eastern side bridge, and they will make it cleanly through into Milta. They jump back, of course, onto the savage train of the production team, but Besiktas only going to be blowing up and enjoys reliving his nightmares from the desert dunes.
Oh, man. That's quite unfortunate. But yeah, now Coops over here inside the house, and Knights. Oh, that nade was quite close, but Xenox able to dodge it in the nick of time. And also getting back to safety. Rise, on the other hand, now it seems like they have tasted the blood of Ghost. And they're looking to confirm it. Beowulf taking out the game now. Ghost left with only 3 men alive. And if you talk about Rise, I've always been saying this. They're an aggressive team, and they're not going to be backing out from this fight. They do realize the blood of Ghost is quite tasty. And they won that blood, Jake.
Oh, it tastes good, Necro. When you get that confirmed kill, sweet and delicious. Down to a trio for the rest of Ghost as that zone. Phase number 2 will shift back in towards Pachinki, the center of it all. You can see that now teams grouping around the city itself as Fenerbahce will make that move over. So will S2G up towards the church side. And I think we could have a lot of firefighting happening on our hands here as these teams do center around that location. Ghost's going to be late though. Fenerbahce will hold them away for now.
Oh.
He'll even confirm a knock onto Spec. He should confirm that Keyless Valky will be there to close it out. Intensa has to rotate outside.
Oh no, Ghosts are just crumbling down from all the different sides. In the front, it was Rise, and now in the back near Pachinki, it's Fenerbahce. Just pinning them down inside Pachinki, making sure they're not able to leave that area. So Ghost, they just don't have anywhere to go. They do have a lot of compounds to work with, though. They do have a lot of houses to work with. They can try and use that for their advantage, but still, how much? They'll still need to find an angle on the enemy lines to at least find a little opening to make it through. But again, Rise, they do realize in the front, they do hear a lot of gunshots. One little kill for Rise is definitely going to be putting a little bit of more smiles on their faces. Supermassive Blaze on the run. Seems like they're quite on low HP. So they do want to play things a little safe over here. But if you take a look at the center of the map, it's just team gathered up near Pachinki, right? And Ghost, at this point in time, it's pretty much next to impossible to leave Pachinki.
Yeah, I think that, right, Pachinki is one of these baits almost in a way. You're in phase 2 and you think Pachinki is in the center of the zone. I have to go towards it and get that location. I think that's a slight error on the side of S2G and Fenerbahce. I think the better decision is actually to play like teams the Black Dragons are doing, to play like those around Potato Hill. Even around the Everest side isn't a bad idea when you are trying to play on the high ground, on the outskirts of that zone. Playing the edge in this sense is a lot easier to do and go elsewhere if the zone doesn't shift first of all into Pachinki. But even if it does shift in Pachinki, have that slower approach and allow the rest of these teams to try fight it out in a hope that you can slowly crawl your way in. Yes, it's more difficult, but the likelihood, as we said, of it only in phase 2 being a finish directly on Pachinki is very low, and statistically, it is better to hold that outer edge and look for that information, look for those potential side kills of some of these teams who still need to rotate in, keep in mind. There are teams like A7 rotating on the north and Aton towards the eastern side. Nice, also equally going to do the same when it comes to keeping those eastern teams away. Besiktas, another one of them.
Oh no, Bullock does hear those vehicles in the front, and it's Rise. Please do not shoot them, because you do know Rise, they're pretty aggressive. They're not going to be backing out from this fight for sure. If Maidon makes any kind of move, if he makes any kind of sound over here, he is going to get punished instantly by Rise. So definitely leaving away, definitely just leaving this place is probably the best thing you can do, and that's what Maidon exactly does. Does realize there's a huge threat lingering on his head, but on the other hand, oh no, watch out. This is quite late in the game, Mufasa. Any more of these mistakes will not be spared next time. just spinned his big buggy out in the open. Luckily, there was no one really watching him doing so. So he's going to be finding himself safe for now. But on the other hand, Knights, they're on a chase against Aton, and they do realize he's on a run. They do sense the fear, and they're feeding off of it. And now they're looking to take down Choco. Oh no, taking a lot of shots, but Miller's from the back trying to provide that cover fire. He's making sure that his teammates at least out of harm's way, and that exactly what happens. Aton looking safe for now, but again, if you talk about damage being done, it has already been done. They're one man short. They're down to a 3-man squad. Team Queso, on the other hand, they have this high ground to work with, and they can try and hold it off.
Team Queso they're going to suffer a knockdown to that Supermassive Blaze across the hill. From Pachinki, Savian getting a little bit dicey on the edge of Team Queso, looking over the compound. And I think this actually for Team Queso, one of the best positions in this map to be holding right now. You don't want, as we said, to continue into Pachinki because this is exactly the problem where it shifts away and you are playing on the edge of the zone suddenly, even though you were on the center just the game before. This Black Dragon's also going to knock down. But to go back to my point, right, now it is down to Team Queso. Can they defend a lot of these squads rotating down? Supermassive Blaze finding that knock is going to slow them and potentially will weaken that opportunity. But Team Queso, they've got a lot of chances here to find so many kills for these teams rotating in from that northern end.
Oh! That's a huge nade on the rise by Golden. Oh, Black Dragons, they're going to be feeling pretty good after that. Just blowing 2 men into smithereens. Nunes knocked out behind this tree. Rise, oh no, their hopes and dreams have been shattered inside this game. Left with only 2 men to work with now. Black Dragons, oh, they're going to be having those devilish smiles on their faces for sure. On the other hand, Mad Bulls, we do know they're down to just a 2-man squad. The rest of the 2 players from the Rise, they're just looking at Black Dragons, and they're just getting jealous about the amount of manpower the Black Dragons are left with for now. Rise, they just cannot really do over here much, and if you're talking about not really doing much, Revo definitely couldn't really do much in that situation. Gets knocked out in the open, didn't really have a lot of cover to work with, and Unicorns love just charging in forward, capitalizing on the exact fact. And those 3 players find that blood of A7, and I'm pretty sure it's tasty.
I'm just wondering again, A7 are playing the same mistakes as Na'Vi do. They rotate so late. 15 minutes rotation just passed into Rozhok in a zone that shifted almost an entire phase ago down towards the south side. A7, they need to be faster at these rotations, and we talked about it from Na'Vi. To see from them a big mistake is now Unicorns a lot, they go for the push.
Oh, they're definitely going for that push. Senetex in the close. GK first realizing Carrillo's right in the back. He's able to take a couple of shots, but still nothing really critical happening. But yes, there is a knock on GK first. Senetex strikes in when his team needs him the most, but he is busy healing himself back up, and Fresh realizes the exact thing, and he pushes in the right nick of time, and he's able to take down the final man of A7. Senetex falls down. A7 out the game. In 16th place, that's the first team to get eliminated, and you rarely see these kind of moments.
But now another big shift here is Matt Bulls. It might just be the 15th to drop. Balut Chaptan also desperately running towards that Jeep. Rise will barely find it in drive off. Starts the engine just in time, but only to walk into Monkey. The vehicle explodes and Rise goes down with it, as he will be confirmed away. Monkey counting his lucky stars right now is that vehicle didn't approach him to the shack. He won't have to fire just yet. Balut Chaptan gonna lose another. Is also Xset Polo. Will knock down Fonan, but to the fight of S2G.
Oh no, but Sheik does definitely have the prime positioning, and now it's been getting challenged by S2G, and they're looking to take him down, but Sheik does 2 men short inside this fight. S2G just playing this to perfection. They're able to execute them single-handedly, 1 by 1, and now Besiktas down to a 2-man squad, if I'm not wrong. Yes, no, actually just 1 man alive from the side of Besiktas. And now he will have to try and play that safe game. He will have to try and play that placement points game for now. He will need to make sure that he's at least carrying all the burden on his back and providing his team with those placement points. SGG is just perfectly executing that fight, perfectly executing that push against them. But on the other hand, Aton, Cardi goes down. That's a huge knock. And Aton, they're going to be having a lot of pressure surmounting on top of them. How are they going to be making it inside the zone? That's the question. Out in the open, Choco is trying to find it cover desperately. And he will probably find himself one, but still, it's not really going to be that safe for sure. Black Dragons now looking to challenge a fight. If they're able to get out on top in that fight, that can help them out quite a lot. Final man of Besiktas getting challenged by Supermassive Blaze. Finds one, finds both of them. What? Oh my god, that Uzi is definitely a shredder.
Oh, the Uzi close range, that's what it can do. We talked about it on screen, baby. And Uzi, you don't mess with it when you're in amongst a 1 meter difference of those clip of that magazine. Is now Fenerbahce stepping up inside this zone. They actually got gifted in phase 4, this zone towards them, alongside Besiktas, who do survive too, but it's now, can they utilize that into the kills? Team Case also, can they utilize their position that they had for kills also? They've only got 1. I think that this could be a big upset if Na'Vi goes down. Of course, Na'Vi's so desperate for these points. Keep in mind, they have to win this fight.
Chances of them winning the fight as well are quite huge, right? If Na'Vi just tries to go in a little bit more, they will have the high ground over Team Queso. Team Queso giving up this high ground, I don't really understand the strategy. I do understand maybe a little bit they do want to make their mark inside the zone, but still they need to focus on this individual fight first. Matic with that vehicle, just trying to make an off angle, just trying to make a cheeky angle on the enemy team, just to find that opening knock, and that's going to be meaning quite a lot. Exil down quite low. Matic able to find that kill and instantly retreat back. And he does realize because he's quite low, he needs to get back to safety and patch himself back up. But on the other hand, Team Queso now, they're under a lot of pressure. Na'Vi looking to move in with the zone. They are going to be able to confirm the kill. Meku just trying to find any kind of connections through the smoke. Was able to find a little connection on Rima, though. But it seems like just not yet. Landon, oh, lucky that nade didn't really take him out.
Seconds. That'll do it. That should be it. Necro, they're going in for the push, and they have found even more. And he's on the run, and so is Rema. We shouldn't give it up right now as Meku. Tixi, they do have to be cautious, of course, through the smokes. It could be a bait into a nade inside the smoke cloud itself, but as none appears, Anin, there's what does he have left? I don't think he's got much, but his health bar is dropping. That's the certain, and Rema is doing his absolute same. As Rema will knock, and Anin should be next to the party as Kitsune will leave the fight, and this is how confident Na'Vi are. And they should be. It's only one more player. And what can Anin do? He's got 1 tree to his name. A roll of the nades. I'll show you I see the smoke here.
And on the smaller screen, you also did see STG try to wipe out the existence of Besiktas, but still that Uzi strikes in hard. It's just too powerful in those close ranges. Landon, a little peek from his side, that means the final nail will be put in the coffin. Landon now doesn't have any other choice left. Yep, he's taking a lot of damage, and he still strikes back, though. He's trying his best, but still the zone damage is a little too much. Meku being taken down, but the good side is that the damage has already been done onto Na'Vi, so them winning the game now, the chances are looking quite low. Unicorns Love, on the other hand, they've gotten the shack control, and as I mentioned, Besiktas now wiped out the existing S2G. Taking all the credits for that, Unicorns Love. 3-man strong team. That's quite a huge separation coming out, though. Fresh all by himself on the right side. Exa is the team that he needs to take care of. But J7 still pretty safe for now. On the other hand, Ghost spotting that rotation from the side of Na'Vi. Taking a couple of shots, picks in Kitsune. Gets just... They drop out in the open. Oh no, that's not really a good kind of thing for Na'Vi over here. Kitsune being spotted. The final man will be taken out.
I think he tried to stop inside of the zone, but he should have kept moving.
Yeah.
Tan as well, going to fall to roll kids. He just 1v3s them, finally goes down, but Tan were too scared to help their teammates to go outside of the shack. The fear of the third party, Unicorns of Love. Instead, they lose another. Finally, Fresh will go down, but it's the hands of Aton. Is they will drop in 9th. And what a meanwhile, the MVP position, by the way, Monkey Mad Bulls inside of that tiny little shack, but is half broken, is keeping himself alive for his placement points.
I'm pretty sure as soon as the zone pretty much moves anywhere close to Monkey, he's just gonna get charged on by any team over here. The Monkey, again, I would still say he has a lot of threat lingering on his head. H2G from the back. Oh, that's a huge knock. And he was a man of Fenerbahce, the final man, just to try and grief H2G's game. And now the zone's also dealing a lot of damage on the man of H2G. Should be able to get the rats back up, but still, if you talk about their 2-2 split, it's quite brilliant from the side of H2G. Always trying to provide that backup fire. Yup. They have also gone in quite a good position. They're also inside the zone. The next zone, they're looking quite safe for now. On the other hand, Knights taking a lot of damage, not really, but withstand it. And Choco, I do like the spread coming in from the side of Knights as well, but the problem is if one man gets taken down, they're not going to be able to get the res back up.
Monkey, as we said, he's got that zone gifted to him. I think that the problem is all of these teams, they can't push on to Monkey, and Monkey can just sit there and wait. Unless a nade hits him, he's quite happily going to be able to survive into the next team falling, because Knights, they're occupied with a fight versus S2G, and nades go either way, but it lands onto no one. Xenox cooks a second. His half HP needs to move because Coops is bleeding out in front of him.
Oh no, the buggy as well. It's almost on flames. If it blows up, it's gonna take them both out. No, should have parked the buggy a little bit on the other side. Maybe that could have helped them from that explosion. A little bit of rookie mistakes from the side of Knights, but again, I don't really blame them. This is a lot of pressure to deal with. Sometimes even the best of the best do crumble down.
Is where? Why do Knights go? I mean, you look
man.
at Chico, right, on the outside. Yes, they've got a brilliant flank side, but they don't utilize it. They just drop. Easy peasy to S2G. They had to move. There's nowhere to go, but the rooftop now, very bold through from Kalse, but such a position could work out if they can be utilized. But we saw something like this before with S2G, where it was actually Besiktas who stole the game off of this. It punished that type of position exactly. But it could be more useful here. Of course, the zone may just be that more flat, so it will allow them to find these shots, allow that higher ground.
Oh, no.
Choco, yes, they do. It's crucial for Kalse. Can he find a second, though?
Oh, man, the man was just jumping around, hoping that maybe he will miss his shots. Milo's taken down quite low, just a spray comes in through. No connections being found yet. Bullock still looking pretty decent inside this game with 2 players alive. Ace2G, it seems like they're looking to win this game. They have the man advantage. They have the man number favoring them, and might as well try and win it, right? Unless if they just make some rookie mistakes, and then Bullock are able to capitalize on it, or maybe any other team inside the game are able to capitalize on it. But Bullock is the one that have the second most men alive inside this zone. Just looking to spray it down. They do know Aton is still alive in the game all the way on the right side. It's just that one man alive. Maybe a little connections being found can lead them to at least wipe out the existence of Aton. Did find a little bit of hit marker there. He's trying to look for another one. Oh, no. Oh.
Get it. Oh,
back.
Shots.
Oh, back being exposed.
Oh, almost he got knocked down. Timber as well. He looks for the opposite angle. Now it's down to survival. Another shift, though. It's on to Monkey. I mean, Monkey, he's been gifted this zone time and time again. He went from, like, 14th position here, Necro, and he's inside the final 3. Aton will fall as well. And all he has to do is he has to sit quiet. There's nothing that actually anyone can do to stop him apart from a nade. And finally, I think they might have got close enough. There it goes, a Monkey. Oh, it doesn't land. It hits the wall. Kalse, he misses. That's the vehicle gone. And Blue Chap's hand, they're trying to utilize this pressure as Monkey strikes back. Does that nade land? Tickles him a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. Tickles him a little bit. Kalse, though. Yeah, I've seen him in these kind of situations a lot of times. And Monkey, these teams are just being pinned inside this cover that they have. They're just being suffocated down to death. They just don't really have a lot of breathing space to work with. Maidon has this little bit of haystack for himself, but still, let's just find out, is he going to be able to make it work? That's the huge question that I'm wondering for now. Monkey's just getting bombarded by those nades. One little nade connection and Monkey, that's just going to be it. That's going to be sealing the deal on the Mad Bulls. But gotta say, Mad Bulls did look quite sad in the start, but until now, they have been able to stay alive, and that's quite a huge thing. Monkey single-handedly carrying his team for those placement points, and gotta give props to that man. Final man being spotted from Bullock, and now S2G just realizes it's just that one last man alive. It's an easy-peasy game.
A massive game. It's all confirmed out their 17th kill of the match here, Necro. And
oh my God,
such a huge opportunity, quite frankly, for S2G. They needed these points coming in. We've not seen a game like this since week 1. Where was this in game number 2? In week number 2, should I say? Not there. And now, coming into week 3, this is the S2G that we know. This is the type of S2G that scored that 200 plus points in that first super weekend, and I'm glad to see them back. I mean, such beautiful control in the way that they handle that final zone.
Man, gotta say, that contestation from the side of S2G onto Besiktas, if you remember. Besiktas had the prime positioning inside the zone, right? And as soon as they went against Besiktas, that was a perfectly calculated push coming in from their side. And as soon as they won that engagement, I felt like now S2G having the best position. And we've seen a lot of times in the past as well, Jake. I don't really need to elaborate on that. If S2G do get the best positioning inside the late zone, there's a higher chance that they're probably going to be sealing the deal, or they're probably going to be getting the chicken dinner on that game. And that's what exactly happened. S2G, realizing they have the best position inside the zone, they just kept on capitalizing onto it. They played it to perfection till the end. They were able to kind of like adjust around it as well. And S2G, they just got themselves that beautiful chicken dinner.
Yeah, they were able to just completely capitalize off that hillside. I think it was between Knights, right, and S2G. Whoever wins that fight out is able then to close out the game. But Knights, because they didn't have the hill, and because actually it was stolen from Besiktas, that position by S2G, it was all of these kills wrapped up with that perfect endgame position. It was what allowed them to steal it away also against Blue Chatana, though it was a absolutely stellar performance, and I quite frankly think the true MVP of this game has to be, of course, Monkey from Mad Fools. To land from almost a bottom place finish to that second position in the game, a big step up for Mad, considering that they looked so dire against Exit inside of that quarry at the start of the game.
Oh, this was a nice little run over from the side of Rise. That's like a little bit of a revenge run over, because that nade from Golden from Black Dragons was insane on the Rise, and Rise just getting that little revenge on the players of Black Dragons. That's definitely going to be giving them a huge sigh of relief. But yeah, this Na'Vi fight, definitely Na'Vi. I feel like if they were a little bit more aggressive in that fight, things could have changed out a little bit more. As I was mentioning over and over again, Na'Vi doesn't really have a lot of time to work with. They need to make that push happen. And as I mentioned, if Na'Vi just made that push a little earlier on the enemy lines, I feel like Na'Vi could have at least like came out on top with a decent amount of men alive in the game as well. But still, I mean, in the end, they were able to win that fight, but unfortunately, they just didn't really have enough time to rotate inside the zone. And this is where Ghost realized, okay, we do see two players of Na'Vi in the front using that bucket to make the rotation, and they just got those easy kills.
Yeah, I think that, quite frankly, big game for S2G. Big question marks for the likes of A7, Na'Vi. They
17
have
kills,
to
man.
change
Insane.
something up, right? 17 kills, absolutely huge. We're up to the top of the leaderboard. But tell you who else is on top form is our beautiful Analyst desk. Better know there one more time.
Well, we kept talking about S2G, right? It's been a common theme that we keep discussing, but Seven, you were the one that kind of brought it up at the very top of the show, that they're kind of bringing it back, and it looks like this match, they definitely showing that with 17 eliminations.
Yeah, this team, now I feel like they had to showcase everybody against. Hey, you guys remember that first Super Weekend? Remember what we did? Well, here's a little small taste. Now we're starting to kind of slow down on our risky, crazy plays, on our more adventurous gaming style, and they're going back to what they were able to do in the first Super Weekend. I'm not surprised, Glitter. We've been talking about this for a minute. I am surprised, though, to see Alpha 7 there with 0 points. And I feel like, in a way, Glitter, Alpha 7 might be doing the same thing SG has been doing for the past 2 weeks.
Right, and I mean, we kind of saw glimpses of that yesterday with like this crazy aggression that didn't really have rhyme or reason coming out of them for pretty much the entire day yesterday. So I'm not too worried or surprised by Alpha 7's performance right now. Silas here with the MVP. I mean, we heard the analyst or the caster saying that it should have gone to Mad Bulls because of the ability to snake and stay alive to get all those extra placement points. However, Silas here with 864 damage, 4 elims, 23% of that team contribution going to Silas. I mean, S2G, we've been waiting for this, right? We literally have said it time and time again. They were in such a comfortable position. We saw them trying out a bunch of new stuff, and we were waiting for their return to the crazy level of performance that we saw. And then this chicken dinner alone is very representative of that. And you can see just how high up the rankings for today that they jump up, or for the league play. I mean, second place, they weren't even close to that starting today. And now they've leapfrogged Exet, Knights, next Ria. I mean, in one game, 7.
Before that match, they had literally 30 points. They were somewhere over here on this second page. So it's crazy what one match can actually do here during Week of League play. Something I also wanted to mention there that I was able to see on that first page is Blue Chapter has now put themselves with 43 points. So I think more than likely that team is going to be able to make it to the Super Weekend, which leads me to some of the other teams that are still kind of towards that, not really in the top 16, you know, that are going to be looking to maybe be at risk of not making it on the Super Weekend. I'm looking at Rice Esports, I'm looking at Ghost Gaming, Atan Esports. We've been talking about it, and we're going to continue to talk about it. This is a team that cannot afford to miss a Super Weekend. This is a team that needs to make it to the Super Weekend. If not, they're going to be pretty much biting the nails come Sunday, not knowing if they're going to be able to make it to the finals or not. And you don't want to put yourself in that position. And then with Na'Vi, Na'Vi has been able to improve a lot in regards to points. I mean, yesterday they were only able to get 1 point. Today, so far, they've been able to get 11 points, which is an improvement. So I am going to be looking to see as we get here later on, span of this matches, if anybody's going to try to hunt down Navi. Hopefully, we'll see.
We'll have to see, especially because this next match is going to have the same teams in it. So it's possible, you know, kind of getting used to this match, maybe able to go on ahead and be a little bit more aggressive in the next one. See if they can find that treasure. Oh, wait, speaking of treasure, remember guys, it is a PMGC exclusive. You can get a treasure box in the PUBG Mobile Esports Center. All you have to do is watch PMGC live on YouTube or in the in-game Esports Center, get that PMGC token and redeem it, of course, to get the PMGC permanent items. Also, just a quick reminder as well, if you click the rewards button beside the live stream title, you can go on ahead and link your YouTube account with your PUBG Mobile account to go on ahead and get even more PUBG Mobile tokens, PMGC tokens. So a lot of stuff to be able to go on ahead and get rewarded for. A lot of stuff. Also, comes up our next question. You guys already answered our first one. Let's go ahead and ask another. Now, which team can surprise everyone in the Super Weekend? You already answered which teams you're hoping to qualify. Now, what team can go on ahead and surprise everyone coming into this Super Weekend? I do think that definitely just touching on a bunch of the teams that are kind of towards the lower end right now would be quite interesting. But you guys can go ahead and answer that in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to go on ahead and throw it into a little bit of a break because we have our next match coming up really soon. We'll see you guys shortly.
Dismantle like that, Na'Vi. Oh, that nade was quite close, but Matic still able to get there. Oh my god.
Some type of consistent points. Tron! 16, but Tron, talk about a team looking for...
Last man left, he has this little weaker to work in as cover. So as soon as he gives his position away, that's when things would be done for him. He finds the knock, and he might just be able to clutch this. Now it's a one-on-one situation. If Milo's is able to connect this nade, that's going to be absolutely huge. Nade's being traded from both these sides and gets the Enjoy 7. He clutches it once, but Sheikta, they somehow pull it off.
Going fishing, and Rambo's still in the water. Somehow they still don't see him. He pops out, and he gets the finish. Goes back into the water. Are you kidding me? Look at this direction. That nade, though, does press him out. Football is maybe able to take him down. And he gets the kill! Picks up 2 kills!
Trying his best to hold on to the position, but yeah, as you mentioned, Besiktas definitely do have great positioning, and possibly even they can try and win this one. But Football is now, oh, this is not good. Rembo easily able to take care of 2.
Still waiting as Nice desperately hold on. In 5th position, a solo also for A7. Revo, he'll find another knock.
You know, any team like that, I think the goal is to obviously qualify for the last Super Weekend and just get some type of consistent points. Tron! 16, but Tron, talk about a team looking for...
Oh no, Analyst, they're not going to be feeling good. Just watching just A7 getting dismantled like that, Na'Vi. Oh, that nade was quite close, but Matic still able to get there. Oh my god, what was that? That's a heroic entry from the side of Matic.
Like you mentioned, the blue zone going to be applying pressure. Alucard making that U-turn, popping out with the DP, but immediately taken down. Immediately, Matic! Let's go, baby! Which punches out the full action with the quick snipe and finishes Ghost! Matic's insane! He's on fire!
Welcome back to PMGC West Day 2, about to be going into our 3rd match on Miramar once again. We already had 2 games go by, about to head into the 3rd, and 7 glitter. I mean, so far these matches have pretty nice. We haven't seen any of those quote-unquote shenanigans that we keep talking about, or any of those plays potentially go ahead and purposely keep another team out. At this point, though, we already kind of talked about it. It's going to be the same teams going at it once again. The stakes are kind of higher of that happening.
I think more than likely we're gonna start seeing some teams gonna start hunting each other down. At least I hope. If we don't see any, I'm gonna be fine with it. One thing that I have enjoyed today so far, Glitter, is that all the teams that needed to step up have stepped it up in a big way, and they're kind of setting themselves currently to be able to make it to that Super Weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Mostly at this point, it's really Atan that really needs to continue getting those points, putting themselves in a solid spot. But you can see the head-to-head here with Silas and Rip 7. All right, we've got 864 damage versus 610. 4, 6, and 4 elims. I mean, 2 S2G players up there in the head-to-heads. Not surprising with the type of performance that we just saw in that previous match. Most rescues here. Still get an S2G member up here because they were in so many fights. They were bound to get knocked every once in a while and have to get their players up. But the Baluch Chop Time, you've talked about them a couple times now, Seven. It seems like they've finally found a rhythm where they've put themselves in a pretty safe position for this Super Weekend.
Yes, they have, and I love seeing Elian there because that man had. If you didn't see what happened yesterday, I highly just go watch his highlight play because it was absolutely disgusting. But yeah, Baluch Chatan has been able to step it up in a big way. They've been able to secure those placement points. They have played a little bit aggressive when they need to as well. I'm loving what I've seen out of that team, and hopefully they'll be able to make it to the Super Weekend, which more than likely they will.
Another way to be able to go on ahead and step up your performance is, of course, with the wonderful OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. It has flagship performance, an immersive 120Hz display, and hyper-touch technology made specifically for gamers. OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro are your best shot to go and climb that leaderboard. So you guys are talking about these teams. We're about to be going into the third match. Would you say that that's the team you guys are putting your bet on, or are you guys going to go on ahead and choose somebody else? I'm just going to go first because I haven't been able to do that just yet. I'm actually going to go on ahead and choose Rise, because in my opinion, we got to see more of them. I mean, we did end up being able to see Rise and Alpha 7 be able to kind of duke it out yesterday, but otherwise, got to see them rise a little bit more. So that's why I chose them. 7, you want to go next?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep on double dipping, triple dipping, whatever you want to call it. You're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Team Kessel, that's who I'm going with. Listen, if you guys haven't been able to tell, I really want this team to at least be able to make it to one Super Weekend, okay? I would love to continue seeing Team Queso in PUBG Mobile Esports.
You know, if you keep picking them, 7, eventually they will win, and then eventually you will be right, okay? It's math, okay? Simple numbers. And I used a little bit of math in my selection as well because I'm hoping, since they were able to stay alive in this last match, and we're moving to Miramar, which is where they have their only chicken dinner, Mad Bulls, okay? I want another chicken dinner out of Mad Bulls, and we're going to see how that goes.
You're going with the snakes? You're going with the snaky snakes?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, they have to make it into this next Super Weekend, so we'll see. We'll see. They have to go on ahead and get some sort of high amount of points. Could be a chicken dinner. We'll have to wait and see. Same with all these teams. Let's see if they're going to be able to kind of pull it off in this next one. Because again, Miramar, last Miramar, I don't know if I noticed anything interesting to keep an eye on this next one, but did you guys?
No, nothing crazy. I mean, it was just mostly rotation, some teams being able to actually secure those LMs, putting themselves into position, nothing in the likes of like crazy hot drops of stuff that we're kind of used to seeing. So I'm wondering if teams are starting to slow down a little bit. Oh, glitter. Don't put that juju out there because I'm for it too. I mean, I wasn't here for that island finish that you guys got, but I want some island boys too. Come on now.
Oh man, it could be. That'd be sick. That would be amazing if we ended up getting a zone like that. Maybe instead of the islands over to the east, maybe the ones to the south. Let's go ahead and just watch and wait and see what's gonna happen, because we're gonna go ahead and toss it over into Miramar once again for the second time. Let's see how these teams are gonna be able to handle it. Sending it over to our casters on Miramar.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Heading back over to Miramar. Watch the ocean, dude, in Spanish. And my eyes are all on Pecado, dude. Sin City. Mustache Dave, bro. We're coming into this game, and this is a big one, brother. This is a big one. We got some squads.
We're here. We're here to talk about it.
Super Weekend. We're talking about it, bro. We're talking
about what? Team Queso. We're talking about X set, trying to rep that set. We're talking about two teams that have yet to play in a Super Weekend. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to follow along with, because everybody, we just saw that previous desk. 7 looking for a Team Queso win here so they could play in the last Super Weekend.
Bro, I want to see it as well. I mean, what has Team Queso been doing? I can't believe that they've already... I mean, I'm already shocked in the first place that they have missed 2 Super Weekends. To me, I'm like mind blown. And the fact that they're still in trouble here blows my mind. I mean, what has happened with this squad? Gabe, what do you think? What's wrong?
Well, I know just talking to them that they're looking to play smart here and just try to get any type of points. possible to make it into the Super Weekend. And look at this, dude. Talk about the two teams that really need to avoid each other like ice cream on a hot summer day. Xset and Team Queso. Man, getting into a fight real early on this game, this brings a tear to my eye. Then on top of that, Kills Twitch, not even with the squad right here.
Oh, and okay, no, Jay is nearby. Okay, but Sun HP from Besiktas. Oh, Ray! Oh, it's the musical chairs, baby. Ray is spinning around. What is he gonna catch? I mean, what is he gonna go for? Oh, he actually tried to juke him out of the rock. Nope. At some point, he's gotta give this up, dude. That rock's OP. Oh, I want to see that. Hopefully, hey, please.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, record that, please. I want to see that in the highlights. Ayala
Oh,
pushing up on the exit. This is a huge fight between these two squads. Oh, a nice return one there from Rema. And it looks like that it's going to be a stalemate because Killswitch is so far away from this. It looks like Polo and J7 are going to go down. And Team Kessel is going to get the full reset. Oh, they hunted him down! Luke Chapman. Finally, Reyes getting what he wanted. Oh, here we go. Other side of the fight. Oh, look at that angle.
Look at that angle. From the window.
To the wall.
To the wall. Sun HP didn't even see that one coming. That's how you know Killswitch is gaming out here today. Now, they did lose too early on from Team Queso. Unfortunate. That is due to their 2-2 split here early on. And I'm very curious, did Team Queso, did they go back, watch the VOD, and recognize, hey, Xset got a little 2-2 split going on Miramar. Let's take advantage of it. And this is a story that we were kind of chatting about, I remember last week, when we're talking about teams who are looking to really qualify, who need to tighten up and maybe change it up a little bit here on that early game drop and not be so predictable here, Hot Jukes.
I don't know. This is one where I'm just like, I have no clue what is going through the mind of Team Kessel at this point. Because, I mean, if they were really high up in points, I would see them wanting to drop out Xset to try and get them out so that way they don't have another team competing with them in the last Super Weekend. But they're behind Xset, like, tremendously. Oh, nice shots from Elion. Oh, gets both of them. Wow. Madbull's getting clapped off the vehicle. Elliot's so quick with that M249. I love to see those kind of shots come out. Back to the Team Kessel point though. You know,
yeah.
Man, I don't get the hot drop at all. I don't think that could have been intentional. I mean, you said it. You said that you were talking to them, and they said that, hey, we want to play smart. In my eyes, I don't know. I don't know if hot dropping when you're that far down on the leaderboards and have so much at risk is the smart play. You don't see the top teams do it, so not too sure what.
Well, they also said they want to try to use any chance possible to get any type of points. Like, that's how desperate it is right now out here.
So they felt like Xset was easy points or something?
I'm not saying that.
You talked to
the
them.
chat saying that.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'm just telling you what they said, that they're looking to take advantage and try to get any type of points. So to me, that's like pulling out the back of the book. We talk about the playbook a lot here. We talk about the first couple pages. I think right now, Team Queso, they've been thumbing through all them pages all 2 weeks, and they're at the very end, right? They're at the very end, and I think it's just do or die now. Now, yesterday, they did get 20 points. Not the best performance for a team on the cusp. And looking at Xset, those are two teams that we're going to keep chatting about here today because a lot of people really rooting for these two squads in particular to qualify. Xset got 45 points yesterday, and we can see the rankings right there. So when we look at both of these teams and we look at which team is in a better situation, it's obviously Xset. Yeah, it's obviously Xset. Even though they lost too early on.
They're still sitting pretty. I mean, they put up enough points here to put them in a good position. I mean, at the same time, I mean, it's only 2 days worth of games, so they could easily get passed up if they're not careful. So they want to be able to put up some good points consistently here because they have to make sure that they make it. Oh, the Q! Gotta get some better insoles, buddy. That would hurt.
Too much car, man. Too much car. Sometimes you just too much car to handle. And looking at the overall after last game from Team Queso, I believe they're in 15th right now for this Super Weekend. So they're there, right? But they don't have a lot of room. to work with. Like, if they get taken out first here this game, and then maybe a mid-pack placement next game, well, that last game is going to be intense for them in particular. So, all in all, I think XSET have been doing a great job here today so far and yesterday, just with being able to come into these matches and get consistent points. Now, we see they only got 1 point this game, but I think that's a product of them dropping two too early on. So maybe they want to reconsider that moving forward.
Yeah, and they got caught slipping a little bit. I mean, Team Castle caught advantage of them. They got split up with Besiktas as well, and they just got punished for it. So they're going to still have 2 up alive, 1 point. They could definitely make something happen, and the odds are always not too good, especially at this high level. You want that full squad up. But, you know, when XSET, we just know what they can do. I think that's what it is. We've been casting, we've been watching them play. We know their capabilities. And when XSET really gets into full form, we know they're a squad to be reckoned with. But we got to look at the numbers here. And at this level, they have just been getting stomped on. I mean, not making it to 2 super weekends, it's really inexcusable.
Yeah, so it's do or die, honestly, this last super weekend, if they even want a fighting chance. Talk about do or die, and Silas with the quick pull-up. Looks like they were trying to take out the duo from Luke right here, and they recognized the potential danger. Nice oh, Silas with the M4, though. Catching Rias in that backseat of the buggy. One of the most dangerous spots to be in here on a rotate. Now, let's see, though. Will S2G continue to hunt down Baluk?
Man, these squads have been practicing that vehicle tracing. I mean, I've never seen people get clapped out of vehicles so quick here. Oh, Carrillo! Oh, hits the... Oh, what a shot.
Got him.
What a shot. I mean, I was literally getting... I got dumped out of there for a second. Hits the crouch, hits the lean to make sure that he gets that perfect angle, and just literally headshots Kitsune right out of the vehicle. I mean, it just proves my point. I mean, these guys, when it comes to drive-by, if you drive by them, they're clapping out the vehicle instantly every time.
It's too good. And that kind of goes back to what we saw earlier on from Mad Bulls. Very questionable rotate going through the town on a main road.
Yep.
You know, it just opens you up to getting sprayed down upon. And then on top of that was with an M249. So talk about a vehicle exploder right there. Now Mad Bulls, another team down to just 2 off of their early game rotate. That's why we see teams, they tend to stay off those roads, right? They tend to veer off the path, the easiest pathway on their rotates, and they take these vehicles out there in the mountains. And yeah, you know, we kind of laugh at it here and there, like if they flop the car, but it's for a good reason, right? You got to take those paths that can secure your safety. Especially here on Miramar, you never know who might be on the opposite end of that hill. And, well, popping back over here with Luke. Talking about vehicle rotates. This buggy's smoking.
Fernan, you know, getting ready to get on that rotation. Pulling up, getting ready. And when it comes to the rest of the squad so far, when I look at the... I'm looking at the map right now. I know you got Matic.
Trying to race.
Oh, God, he needs to put that thing in 4-wheel drive, Dave.
Dude's out here changing a tire or something. Real quick, before the action erupts, and I know you're kind of going with the point, but I wanted to bring this up early on because you were talking about the numbers. I was looking at the numbers. I believe this is from the entirety. Games played, 53 games played. Last game we saw them. Coops from the Knights. First place with 99 kills, 21k damage out of 53 games played. Almost at that 100 mark. Right behind them, Xenox with 88 kills. So that duo still showing up here at the top when we're talking damage and elim points. Any thoughts with that? Are you surprised, Hot Jukes? What's your thoughts with that, man? I just laid some knowledge on you.
Man, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, to be able to see that person get that kind of work done, it's just incredible. It really is. I mean, we see so many different players that are kind of pushing themselves out to be that superstar player. You know who I'm talking about, right, Dave? And when you see performances consistent with that type of play style, you're gonna see some great games here. You're gonna see some great games, Dave.
I'm talking about Coops. That's who I was talking about. 99
Absolutely.
kills.
I mean, 99 kills is ridiculous. It really is.
53 games.
I mean, over 53 games, 99 kills. That's, let me do some quick math in my head. That's 2 kills a game.
Pretty solid. That's a player I want on my team.
That's a positive KD right there.
Yeah.
I'll take that to the bank all day long. I mean, that's honestly that's what a shot there. Quick one.
What were you saying though? I didn't mean.
I mean, that is a ridiculous feat to accomplish. I mean, to have a positive KD in this kind of lobby, it's crazy. I mean, we see some of the top players be able to do so, but I mean, this is a battle royale. I mean, it's not a position where you can just respawn and come back. Once you get taken out, you're done. So Coops has just constantly proven to be a player that can always show up for his team. And I think there's a lot of other teams in North America, at least from the North American side, that need to have that superstar player rise up. When it comes to Xset, I'm looking at Kill Switch. You know, Polo, he's been pretty consistent overall, you know, but I think when Polo steps up to another level and Kill Switch gets on point and they start feeling themselves, Xset's a squad to be reckoned with. But I think we've been yet to see that so far in this tournament. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people also kind of waiting for it, maybe even his teammates. As the next zone goes up, A7 up there towards the north, and we were looking at the potential of a little engagement down here between Rise and Knights. And this is a nice fight because going down in that third place position, kind of back to that overall points, Mythic, third place with 82 kills. So Mythic has been a heavy hitter in this lobby. And let me just top 5 real quick.
Go ahead.
Solke and Lutz, 4 and 5. That's a surprise. But let's look at this fight. Coops are out here prone, trying to toss some grenades, looking to pull back just a little bit. Looks like Riser looking to take this fight.
Here they go, Rise. Trying to get some angles here. They look to be pretty split up. Mythic in a 1v1 situation. He's in that shimmy. He's going to actually win that. The Knights are so split up that even with that knock, I don't think they're going to be able to support Coops here. So Coops is in the front lines. If he wants to be able to get this revenge, he's going to have to really press up and do something magical on his own because the rest of his team is just way too far out. Now they finally start coming, but it may be just a little bit too late. Rise is going to get this full reset off.
Yeah.
Xenox, though, that off angle. Beautiful.
That's huge. And that's when we start to see the push from Coops, that little oomph of aggression. Coops was connected on about 50% health right there. Is going to be able to get the heal off while Xenox pushing up with that buggy.
Oh, wow.
Mythic, number 3 when it comes to top elim players in the lobby, looking to get a 1v2. Oh, got the pickup.
The crazy pickups. I'm so surprised. Whoa. Coops hits the laydown, not going to be enough, and I don't think they really thought they were going to get that much of a revive. And just like that, Rise with a full reset right in front of the face of the Pittsburgh Knights. And now it's just Alucard up, last one. And I guarantee you, Rise, considering everything that's going on with this lobby, they're going to hunt him down.
Mufasa said, thanks for the buggy. Xenox, thank you.
Gracias.
And look at this, sending it right here. I want to really point out, though, wow.
Alucard's, he's goner, dude.
I mean, if they blow this buggy up, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Done. I want to point out Gary's position, though. Gary in the backline, although Gary wasn't in the front getting involved, he was playing a crucial role in that backline, playing that anchor, making sure Alucard was pinned down throughout the entirety of that fight. So shout out to Gary right there. I really did appreciate that position they were holding down.
Gary with that spot really just forced the Knights to have to stay back because he was waiting for him. He was waiting for anybody to crest that hill. So you just can tell by just that kind of play style. Gary was saying, guys, get the res. I got y'all. And in order to be able to make that kind of play, your team has to have 100% faith in you. 100% faith. And I'll tell you what, if I'm on Team Rise, I'm putting all my faith in Gary.
Brokis with the UMP. I almost feel like that anchor position is a little more important than the gunner up in the front line, you know, because that anchor position is playing Overwatch on your team, and if they miss those shots, well, that's going to be it for them.
This is a huge fight, though, right here. This is Team Gessel. The squad trying to make it in, and just with the vehicle rotation get blown up. They go out with only 2 points in this game, Dave.
Looks like Xset will have the final laugh if they don't get taken out right here, right now. 2 points, though, that's okay. That should offset their 0 points with placements here this game, but it's obviously not enough, not what they want to get here. And, you know, I feel bad for 7 on the desk calling for that Team Case to win. Looks like it's not going to be happening this game.
My question is it enough? I mean, they were in, what, 15th before this started?
Yeah.
15th place with 34 points, tied with the Black Dragons. Rise Esports is in 17th place with 33 points. So with how Rise has already performed, they're going to pass up Team Kessel. You know, Ghost Gaming has 24 points. If they get a good game here, they have all 4 up.
And Navi.
And Navi. So literally, Team Kessel, they got to be biting their nails right now. That's a horrible performance for them. And they only got 2 games left to go.
Yeah, I can see Rise definitely overpassing them this game. It all depends on how this Ghost defense handles Rise down below. Navi, not so much. They only got 2 up this game, but you never know. Placement points are key. And, well, S2G, they got a solo right above Rise. Rise, a little 2-2 split out there. Might be spreading a little too thin out here. As Rokiss still over there with the UMP, putting in some work.
Getting it done up in the front lines there on that off angle as well. So Mad Bulls are down to 2. It's just Monkey and Ying Ying up. And you can see Monkey trying to throw out some grenades, trying to buy himself some time. Oh, beautiful finish there on the other end of the map. Baluk chopped on in big trouble. It is just Marion left. And he's going to try to throw a grenade here, try to catch one of these Mad Bulls slipping. He's in a 2v1 situation, but they're going to press this so beautifully. That's a quick nade. That's a beautiful one. But, oh, Monkey, there perfectly timed, is able to get the assist and get the finish. So he's going to go and get this res up. Mad Bull still up in this one. Down goes Baluk Chaptan.
Imagine seeing that grenade just whiz right past your head before blowing up. So Nunez is knocked out. Mythic, though, with the vehicle explosion onto Timber, is able to at least secure that angle and maybe throw a smoke, maybe get the pickup onto Nunez. Ghost Gaming, though, in the trenches. They hear the gunshots. They recognize, okay, there's a team over there, but they're not trying to overextend from their cover right now, at least for the moment being.
I'm going to call it right now. Ghost Gaming win.
The game or this fight?
They're winning this game.
This game?
Yeah. I'm gonna call it.
It's a bold prediction.
It's a bold one, but I'm gonna believe in Ghost here because they are sitting in 18th place. Okay, I feel like we see Ghost kind of do this all the time. They put themselves in a bad spot, and everyone's like, "Oh, what about Ghost?" And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, just to like avoid attention. And then come time when like they need to perform in order to qualify, they just pop off like crazy. So that's what I'm gonna believe in. HH24 goes down. We'll see if my case is true, because Rise is actually in a very similar position. They're barely right above Ghost in 17th place. Oh, nice one from Spec. Oh, but gets shut down by Nunez. Nunez getting the spray down. Oh, and Ghost. The prediction, Dave. It could have been a curse. Because Beowulf, 3, 2, 1, see ya.
So the thing that was holding Ghost back, I think they recognized that. That's why we didn't see them push over that ledge too much, is because I believe Besiktas from that east side had a slight angle, and I saw him taking some shots in that trench, and Ghosts were kind of pinched, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rise don't lose at least 1 or 2 members. We do see a couple of them knocked right here. I'll be very impressed if they can get the pickup, the reset, and rotate, because the next zone did pop. Looks like S&B right there on the edge, Fenerbahce right there on the edge, and well, they're going to be playing that gatekeeper role.
Well, second prediction, Alpha 7's going to win now.
Okay, they're out. They're out.
Right,
they get wiped right now.
Right, they get wiped right now. I mean, they're sitting dead center of this circle. I mean, that's crazy to see, though. Rise and Ghost in pretty much the same spot. Rise understand the situation they're in. They get the beautiful push. Oh, my gosh, make it 9, 10.
5 points.
Oh, into the palm tree.
With the M249, too.
Man,
I think they're still alive. I think they're still alive. So I've never seen a cast a curse quite like that.
Bro,
that dude, just got to go back and say I'm impressed.
The way that vehicle spun, that was my prediction. Right there.
Yeah, like, hey, Ghost here to win this game.
Yeah.
30 seconds later, they're gone.
Deleted.
I definitely blame you. I definitely blame you.
I'm sorry,
you
Ghost.
alone.
I'm sorry, Ghost. But you know what? I believe. That's all that matters here. Speaking of believing,
Live.
Alpha 7 do it. I mean, seeing is believing, right? They just go, and any person that just tries to even drive close to them have to just hit the deck and make a U-turn so fast. Otherwise, you are getting taken out quick. Oh, X-Set.
So,
gone. That's
okay.
huge, too.
My question, though, Unicorns of Love. Lin just went out. Rollkiss did the same exact maneuver 2 seconds later. I don't know what Rollkiss expected the result to be there. But now it's up to Fresh.
I'm not gonna lie, if I'm in this lobby and if I see my teammate get blown up a vehicle, I think, right? If I see them get blown up by a vehicle and it's Alpha 7 that took them out, I'm running for my life. Like, I am just making a U-turn so quick. These guys do not mess around.
12 kills on Rise.
Wow.
They're definitely going to be overtaking Team Queso. For sure.
See, my prediction was on Ghost, but maybe it was Rise. Nunez, because they were right next to each other on the leaderboards. Maybe that's where I got that little feeling from. Nunez is in a good spot here on this edge. Look at that. Getting a beautiful laydown spray, and he's just causing havoc right now. Looking to pick up some more points. He should get those confirms. That's way more important here. But he's going for position. Full sends it out. Senatexa gets them done and dusted out. Would have loved to see him go for those finishes there on that right side.
Yeah.
I think that would have been huge.
It would have been 15 kills, and that would have been equivalent to a chicken dinner. But
Crazy.
13 kill points, 11 points, that's still a little more than what a second place finish will get you. So Rise rising up here this game on Miramar. Now SMB, little 3 split. See how they have to maneuver down here because the next zone did pop. And Hot Chooks, you might have been wrong on your first prediction, but A7, dead center. Dead center.
This is when they're at their deadliest, to be honest. Like, if there's any team you don't want to get circle blessed, I think it's Alpha 7, because these guys can shoot, and they do not mess around. They're going to play this hyper-aggressive and make it so tough for anybody to make a move here. Now, the good thing for these other teams is that there's a lot of buildings here, a lot of terrain that you can be able to kind of try to push up into. The problem is that you got Alpha 7. If you try to cross that street, even though you think it's a 1 second drive across, they're popping you out that vehicle. That's how quick.
Definitely a bait. You do not want to rotate using that street. Miku from Navi still alive too, carrying the torch out here. Navi
Monkey
definitely need the placement points.
Here's the big thing though, with Mad Bulls, Monkey in the position he's in the best spot here because Alpha 7 is completely surrounding him. So literally Monkey, all he has to do is chill and just let Alpha 7 do all the work, and I guarantee you Monkey gets second place.
We'll see. Been making a lot of bold predictions here. SMB, they got Tron running downhill in the smokes. Ooh, I see one of the squad mates from A7 have been knocked, but it looks like they are attempting to get the pickup. Senatexa, I'm with you. I'm really curious to see how Senatexa can hold down that off angle. Bop is over here. Yeah, talk about the lasers out here. Carrillo with the 1-tap.
This is what they do. I mean, literally, when they get this kind of circles, they're going to make it so difficult for every player to even try to do it. You can see McHugh full sending it for 1 second, instantly taken out from Carrillo. Done and dusted. There goes Navi, eliminated in 5th place. 4 teams remaining. Besiktas, Jesse, stuck in the heel strat. Savian as well in the blue zone. Can't move a muscle. You cannot move when Alpha 7 is there just waiting for you. And look at Monkey.
Still.
Big chillin'.
Still, just trucking along here.
Blue zone.
Navi,
Papa
5th
Blue.
place, what is that, 6 points? So that's still a really good performance, especially looking at teams that were ahead of them, like Team Queso. Rise definitely going to be breaching that top 16 here this game alone.
Blue.
But
Oh my
this looks like an A7 win.
I mean, look at that. Supermassive plays. You realize I'm not even getting across this at all. Monkey's got a grenade here. That could make a play there. Oh, he did it himself! Literally, Alpha 7 had the zone, and every single player in the lobby just said, you know what? Let's not give him points. Let's just go out the blue.
Wow. Okay. A7. A7. Are we surprised? So A7 coming out on top. Yesterday they had a pretty solid day. They finished with 43 total points. Today they're just racking up those points even more. Now the objective for league play, Jukes, just in case people are now tuning in, top 16, right? That's the goal. You had yesterday, and then they got the rest of today. Top 16, make it to Super Weekend number 3. And then after Super Weekend number 3, top 16 go to finals. So we're at the end of this marathon. A7, I feel like they're just warming up though, Hot Jukes, in all honesty.
I mean, literally, when they get that kind of position, that kind of circle blessing, they're going to just pop off every single time. I mean, literally, teams couldn't move. They couldn't make a muscle. They couldn't try to drive or do anything crazy. They see the smoke plays, and they're just shooting you through the smoke every single time. Crazy to see. Highlights coming up here. Let's take a look at that last match. There was a couple that I wanted to see, Dave. Let's see if we can catch it there. Look at that. That nice little spray out from Eliot was really nice. I mean, this was Miramar, vehicle rotations, so difficult at this high level.
Yeah, I'm trying to check here. I think which groups? I need to double check on the break. I need to double check how many more games Extent have and how many more games Team Queso have. I know Team Queso took off 2 matches yesterday, so we'll definitely keep everybody updated on the round robin, changing out the group situation, because we only got, what, 2 more games to go. I really think this previous game, at least for Rise, was a big one, and it might have even have been that ticket, right, that punched them in to playing in Super Weekend number 3, Hot Chicks.
I mean, just a crazy performance there, and at the time that they needed it as well. So, you know, there's only 2 more matches left today, and if you're not in that top 16, for some people, it's over. Like, their whole tournament is done. So they have to clap, they have to pop off in this next 2 matches, and I mean,
yep.
All I'm hoping, though, is if you're one of these teams right now, you're just on your knees and you're looking up at the sky and you're saying, please do not give Alpha 7 the zone. Papa Blue, be nice to us for once, because honestly, if they do get that final circle, I think we're going to see just what happened last game every single time.
2 more games to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send it on over to the Analyst.
I was getting some whiplash in that match there. I mean, at first it was Ghost, and then Jukes was like, "Not 7." He was like, "I'm 7 the whole time." It's like, what? Which is it, Jukes? No, I was kidding. But it looks like A7 is gonna go ahead and take that away once again. 7, you were holding up 7 fingers, so you can go on ahead and talk about A7.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we expected to see out of Alpha 7, right? Especially after we called them out for doing what S2G has been doing. They were like, you know what? We'll show you some S2G stuff. And they come out, put up 10 elims, get the chicken dinner. I mean, this is just pretty much textbook A7 right here, Glitter.
Yeah, I mean, I even had said we saw their aggression like twofold yesterday, and it's something they're obviously comfortable with, but now they just bring it back again. Not only with the aggression, but this time with the chicken dinner on top of it for a total of 25 points from that game. But Mad Bulls pulling down 3rd place finisher with only 2 elims. They've really been going for those placement points this time around. And Rise, I mean, we talked about the big brother, little brother rivalry. Look at those points, 7.
Rise, I mean, 14 points for them. And all of the points come out from elims.
Yes.
13 elims. That is just ridiculous. During that moment, when Jukes was like, Ghost Gaming, I guarantee it. They're going to be winning this one. Rise said, hold up a second, hold my 1+, because we're about to show you something else. And they did. But I mean, even going to my other team, Team Queso, I think this is the time that I'm just going to have to stop choosing you. I feel like I might be cursing you guys, so I'm just going to let you do you, because, boy, this last 2 matches are going to be very important for that team, Glitter.
I mean, talk about cursed as well, though. Atan, another team that has just really struggled to get some decent points on the board for themselves, and they were one of those teams that we were watching, keeping our eyes on to see if they could crack their way into that top 16. It's not looking so fantastic for them right now, but we've got 2 more matches in store, and what's the scary part about those last 2 matches, Span, is the fact that everyone playing for the rest of the day, they're all teams that need to qualify in.
Yeah, you were just talking about that before we ended up jumping on over here. Group A will be sitting out these last 2 matches, and that's the Knights, Bluk, Chopton, S2G, and Exet. Those teams, they're already gonna go ahead and make it through. We already know that based off of the points that they've already achieved. So these last 2 matches, everybody else from the rest of the groups, they're really gonna have to try to climb up and get into that top 16. That might be difficult. You can also see here from Rise, it looks like Mythic is gonna be able to actually take that MVP player spot for this match. 5 eliminations, 995 damage, 33% team contribution. I mean, Rise, they were just on fire in this moment. They were able to just absolutely run over everybody that they end up getting in a fight in with. 7.
Yeah, this is good for Rise. I mean, we always talk about Rise being able to step it up in Sandhawk. They were like, you know what? It's time we are able to step it up aggressively in other matches too. And if Miramar's going to be one of them, even better for this team. They're going to be able to take advantage a little bit more of that final match as well. I think they're going to be playing. And going into the Super Weekend, which they're definitely going to make, it would be interesting to not just be counting them for Sandhawk. It'll be great for counting them also for Miramar when it comes to aggressiveness. We do see Alpha 7 jumping up to that second place, 68 points, looking good. But all of this here, honestly, for everybody watching at home, they pretty much made it to the Super Weekend. What really matters, it's what's on the second page. Because boy, let me tell you, it is gonna be a spicy 2 last games. A lot of people are gonna end up with no nails, including me, because I cannot wait to see what's gonna be happening. Glitter, 16th and 17th place, only separated by 1 point, and they're all gonna be playing in these next 2 matches.
Dang. Okay, so 16th and 17th are separated by 1, but then 15th and 16th are also separated by 1, and then that's where you get the next drop-off, which is the 10 points there. But even if any of those teams in 15th through 17th has an insane chicken dinner, 12th through 14th, they're all tied. Rise is only 1 point above that. This entire second page is insanely close. So if multiple teams, say 15th and 16th, both have a decent game, there is still the potential for 10th, 11th, 12th to start getting knocked down into a dangerous position on the leaderboards. These last 2 games are going to be so important, and this might be the time where we start seeing some hot drops, some potential specific targeting if they can get in engagements with specific teams, because they know they have to take people out.
I'm so glad you said that. You're going to be looking closely at Blue Chaptan because they're currently sitting with 46 points. And you know, they're done with all their matches. So they're going to be just staring at the screen, hoping that those scores come in and nobody passes them. Oh, man, I kind of feel bad for them. But hey, at least they got themselves 46 points this time around.
And we especially have to keep our eyes on those couple of teams that need to make it into the Super Weekend because they are not safe in terms of their top 16 points over there as well. So, I mean, we're going to be, of course, keeping an eye on, like, a ton. I mean, Ghost, Black Dragons. I mean, we got to keep an eye on Eastern Stars as well. Eastern Stars safe right now with that 10-point jump that you guys were talking about, but still a scary place to be in. You guys already said it. Wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some scary stuff happen in these last 2 matches. But to make everybody feel a little bit better, you guys can go on ahead and get yourself a piece of treasure in the form of a box. It's a PMGC exclusive. We have treasure boxes in the Esports Center. All you have to do is watch PMGC live in YouTube or in the Esports Center, get the PMGC token, redeem it, and get those PMGC permanent items. So go on ahead and get that, do it yourselves, and of course go and answer this question as well in the chat. Plug it on in because it's an interesting one. Can your favorite team make their way to the finals? Go ahead and plug that in the chat. Looks like Seven's pretty confident, but we're going to throw it on over to a break because up next is our second to last match on Erangel. See you soon.
NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
Welcome back to PMGC West League. We have 2 matches left. We're going to be on Erangel first, and just immediately on Erangel 7. What are you expecting coming into this, especially since these are our official last teams playing in this. You know, Group A is done with. It's the next 4 teams, 4 groups that are going to be playing this match and one more time on Miramar after.
I expect a lot of those teams that definitely need to make it to the Super Weekend playing super passive. I will be absolutely shocked if the teams like Team Queso, if the teams like that are currently towards the bottom A7, AT7, there you go, Atani Esports, if they try to play aggressive and risk getting eliminated early on these matches. I think most of these teams are going to kind of switch it up to more of the placement points and try to hopefully third-party stuff here towards the end, because they need those points, but they don't want to be too risky.
Not at all. I mean, what's the balance there then? You know, you have to go on ahead and be kind of going forward to try and find these points, but you know that you also can't put yourself in a dangerous position like Glitter. What kind of goes through these players' minds? Like, what makes sure these guys can go on ahead and be able to grab some points and not take themselves out?
I mean, at this point, with how many matches they've all played against each other, they at least should have an idea of who lands where around them, who they could potentially run into on rotations if they go one direction versus another. So they should be able to choose the path of least resistance when it comes to making those conservative choices if they're going for those placement point focused play styles. Okay, I think there is a chance that once they get past a certain point in the game, I think even like potentially early mid-game, if there's an engagement where these teams know that they can win, they will not shy away from it, as we see most assists here up in the background being all A7 and Rise with the phenomenal performance from that last match. But I do agree, I think they'll play a little bit more passively. However, I don't think it's going to be fully passive. There is going to be squads that know that they don't want to be on that bubble in the last match because that's too much pressure on one final game, so that if they can do something in this match to secure a few more points and a little bit more safety, then they'll definitely do it here.
But they also have to keep in mind that they have to do it correctly. Can't go on ahead and do something a little bit too drastic or get a little bit overzealous or overconfident in their push that puts them in more danger. But at this point, at this level, a lot of these teams should be kind of capable of kind of making sure that their performance is even. You know, they can't go on ahead and overthink things or let emotions run. They have to be able to kind of keep a clear head and be able to focus on their surroundings to get through to the end and do what they need to do. It's just, man, 7, what are the odds, you know, that they're going to go on ahead and potentially not do so well?
You know what? Let's talk about predictions first. All right, this is an interesting one. As I said, I've been picking Team Queso. I think it's time for me to stop double dipping, triple dipping. I actually asked YouTube chat, though, everybody that's getting those rewards in YouTube. I asked them, who should I pick for the next one? And somebody that goes by the name of I Kill Cenox and Coops in Bootcamp told me Alpha 7. So for this one, I'm gonna be going with Alpha 7, and if I get it wrong, I'm gonna time you out. So watch out.
Okay, well that's a team that should definitely be confident with all their moves. So there you go. Looks like 7 is confident in himself. Glitter, if you want to go on ahead and put your prediction out.
Listen, I just went with footballs, okay? They're one of those teams that are in that bubble area, and I feel like they will make a push here in this game to at least put themselves into a much safer spot at the end of this.
Okay, I'm choosing Eastern Stars because they're another team that definitely needs to go on ahead and be making it into this next Super Weekend. So we got to see a big performance come out of them. Right now, a little bit too low on that leaderboard for comfort. So I'm going to choose them. And this is Erangel, so we'll be able to see them really be able to duke it out to grab those points for themselves. Any last thoughts, though, before we want to get into this, specifically with the conversation we were having with earlier 7 about the mentality in these teams' performance?
I'm just going to be super intrigued at what Team Queso is going to be doing, at what Navi is going to be doing as well. By the way, in that previous Erangel that we played with Alpha 7 and Navi, I don't know if people might have not noticed this, but Navi actually ended up landing in a different place. They didn't decide to land in the exact same spot. They went a little bit south of George, so it's going to be interesting what they do here in this next one.
Okay, well, let's just jump right on into it. See what's going to be happening on this Erangel match. Hot Jukes and Mustache Dave are going to be taking it over.
Thank you so much, Span Cargo. Here we go, everybody. Match number 4. This is a really big one for so many squads. Dave, you did the math, right? You did the research. How many games are left? How many? Two games. Okay, good.
Two.
Thank you. Second after that, who's sitting down the next one?
Group A. So right now, Group A is sitting out both matches. So that's the Knights, Buluk, S2G, and XSET. Before the action unfolds in Hot Jukes, I just want to say XSET, they are pretty set, in my opinion, based on their performance played so far. 7th place overall with 57 points. So XSET might have just punched their ticket to their first Super Weekend, number 3, Hot Jukes.
Crazy. About time as well. I mean, we've been waiting to see XSET pop off this whole tournament, and now they're finally going to get the chance to even do it. I mean, they've sat out for so many of these Super Weekends. Finally, you know, most likely making it into the last one. I mean, we still don't know yet, right? But predictions,
probably
we're allowed, you know, to pretty much use our good math skills, and it's likely. But at the same time, teams know exactly how many points they need in order to pass them up.
Yeah, but 57 is way up there at the top because we got Footballers currently in 16th with 35. So unless something crazy happens like that we've never seen before in competitive PUBG Mobile, then yeah, I'm pretty sure XSET are going to be playing in the Super Weekend number 3. And talk about who is trying to play. Aton, man. This Milo is here with the 1v4. Aton Esports, 18 points, 20th position as of right now on the overall leaderboard.
Ooh, and that's not how you start. I mean, they got taken out in this one here, but they're still going to have this game and the next game. Because, like you mentioned, Group A sitting out for both of these ones. So all these teams, the squads especially, like I mentioned, the squads know exactly how many points they're going to need in order to get into this next one. Like you mentioned, XSET in 7th with 57. A lot of teams, would have to go crazy in order to pass them up. But what
Cardi
in shelter, underground, running for safety. Yeah, Aton. Looks like they're going to be able to get the pickup. I think they're just trying to do a little bit of a rescue mission here. I think they may be able to get it off. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So Cardi gets picked up. Saying hasta luego. I'm out of this one. And heading on over to Choco for safety and just kind of regroup up as 3.
Cardi B. So, Jukes, let me get your take here before, you know, the action really unfolds and, you know, before you make a prediction that is pretty clear that that's the right prediction. Right now, we don't have a lot of intel. By the way, we'll get to the whole topic of Navi not going to North George. We'll get to that in a second. But I kind of want to ask you, you got Aton, Navi, Ghost Gaming, Black Dragons, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. If you could pick one of those teams to qualify here, at the end of next game, which one would that be? That's what the chat wants to know. They're asking.
If I had to choose one that I wanted to?
One of those teams right now.
That's a tough one.
Come on, chat, call them out. This is Hot Jukes.
I'm thinking.
Question.
I'm not avoiding it. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to avoid it. Just like effect avoiding those shots.
All right, I'm going with Navi. I think
that's
Navi will do it.
Well, I'm not saying which one do I think. You didn't say which one do I think will do it. You said which one do I want to do it.
No.
Right?
Which one do you think?
Out of all of them, Ghost.
Okay, so you got Ghost. I got Navi.
Okay.
I feel like they would definitely be either overtaking Footballers or Team Queso as well. So, like, there's some big teams right now on the cusp of possibly not qualifying for the final Super Weekend. So, this is 2 very critical games for a lot of teams right now.
So huge. I mean, it's so huge. I mean, when it comes to the reason why I got stopped up on that question in the first place was because when I just try to think about which teams I would want to see in the last Super Weekend if it was one of those 4, you know, Black Dragons, I feel they could utilize the most practice, you know, going into the finals. So I think that, you know, for them, a Super Weekend here is crucial. You know, Ghost Gaming, they're sitting pretty. They know they're going to the finals. So I think now is they're just kind of just chilling and, you know, just learning some new things and doing some stuff. Navi, on the other hand, I think they just need practice against Alpha 7. That's the main thing for them, you know, because they have been getting the bad end of it here. That vehicle is well in trouble. He is hiding inside of it, and I don't think Mad Bull's... Okay, finally. They finally spot him out. So Eastern Stars here on this side of the map. one of them getting taken out. Kabbalah on the other end. Kabbalah, if he can be able to,
dude.
Yeah, if he can get that laydown, sneaky snake, make some plays. That'll be good for the Eastern Stars.
So, Jukes, with that mindset, then you brought up a huge, like, big brain point. You're looking at the overall league play Super Weekend standings, right? You said that you would like to have Black Dragons practice a little more. I'm looking at Aton. If Aton don't qualify, they are, if I'm not mistaken, in 14th on that overall leaderboard for Super Weekend points. If they do not qualify, there's a good chance that they will be knocked out of their position and not play in the finals, actually. So out of those 4 teams, Aton definitely has the most to lose when you're thinking big picture.
And we've seen Aton have some serious pop-off games, right? We've seen them be able to get some good, solid performances here and there, but I think they just lack that consistency that, you know, a lot of these top teams are able to give. And right now, like you mentioned, they are in a really bad spot. Like, they have to make it into this next Super Weekend. But, I mean, it's looking unlikely. I mean, they're already down 1. Nice little run over there. Coming real close for Fenerbahce. And now, I believe it's just Octavian up left.
With the SKS too, right? Or at least that's what they were shooting a little,
Look at
little bit ago. 1v4.
No chance.
And a dream.
This building's too difficult to hold. I mean, the bounce nade.
Bounce off. Open. You did.
Goodbye.
The backboard bounce off right there. That was nice. But Octavian ended up getting 2 though. That's a surprise too. Fenerbahce a little too aggressive there, in my opinion, taking the same angles, losing 2. That was very interesting. So yeah, back to the topic. Aton. I'm going with Aton, man, because I'm looking at Navi.
You're switching.
They're okay. Navi are okay. Ghost, they're okay. Aton, not okay. When I'm talking overall leaderboards, Super Weekend points, and talking about okay. Rise, last game alone, were able to catapult themselves on the overall leaderboard. Woo. So many kills, by the way. They're currently in 11th position with 47 total points.
You know what? It's honestly, it's pretty crazy to see when you look at these overall leaderboards, just where Footballist is, you know? Footballists aren't in the best spot themselves. Like, if they're not careful, they could even get kicked out of the Super Weekend.
Footballist. So let's get back to the main topic here, and that is teams trying to make it to Super Weekend number 3. One team, we brought up a point a couple moments ago, and feel free to pause that topic if this fight erupts. But Navi, they didn't go to their George Poole spot. They went dead center with the zone, and they dropped near those chopsticks, Gatka area. Very interesting. They know for a fact they can't be too predictable. They know for a fact A7 are probably looking to hunt them down, looking to stomp them down, and looking to make sure they don't qualify for Super Weekend number 3. So Navi changing up the drop spot. Now, my question, is it too late though? Should they have changed up their drop spot yesterday? Maybe even last week? Or is now the right time to do just that?
I think they should have changed it last week. I mean, they've been trying to get the better of Alpha 7 and have lost every single time. I think they finally just realized, it's time to give it up. You know, either their coach or their IGL or somebody just said, you know what, I've had enough of this. We need to start changing things. And, now is the time. And I think that it's a good start for them. I really honestly hope Navi gets a good performance here, so that way they can realize that, it can work, Boom! Oh, beautiful nade from Mythic right there. Good. All the way from downtown up on top of the hill. And he's going to go and give that second one, to actually make it the third. Trying to get the finish. Doesn't matter, though. No player of Next Ruya is even close. So he will get that finish in the matter of time. Unless Next Ruya pulls out something crazy, but
I like your Navi
Rise.
call. I like your Navi
They're
call.
on the hunt.
I do appreciate that. So let's see if they could utilize these zones to their advantage, as they are pretty dead center here. They're gonna have to defend though. Right now they got a little 2-2 split. If I'm looking at the big map, And they got Ghost, they got Footballists near them as well. So, and Rise up here towards the north. So maybe if Rise do decide to pop a U-turn and head towards one of those chopsticks. We know chopsticks can be pretty heated, especially in zones like this. So we'll keep tabs on Na'Vi and their defense. As over here, Rollkiss looking to make a pull-up with the Scar on a Footballist.
Oh, full sending it on in. Footballists, they are in 16th place going into this one here. So they are in a very, very weird spot. They got to watch out for Black Dragons, Ghost, Na'Vi, if they want to make it into this next Super Weekend. Honestly, it'd be crazy to not see Footballists there.
It'd be crazy because then we won't be able to cheer Footballists every time they get a win. And we know how the chat loves that. Footballists love that too. Bashik does though. Oh, popping out the fucking looking for that drop shot. Looks like Mafioso with the DP though. Was able to connect and take him out. Bashik does another team. Oh man, they impressed me so much last Super Weekend that they made a fan out of me. But Rollkiss over here still putting in some work.
Beautiful shots right there, being able to knock out one of the best loots there from Footballists. Footballists full sending it on over up the mountain of Everest, and finally gonna get some revenge shots. Soulcave finally in a good position to defend himself. GK Burst is sending it up here. So it looks like that's kind of a little question mark for me is, okay, yeah. So it looks like he's going to be the front man. He really wants this position. So Unicorns of Love want Everest, but Footballists, they have made a full claim to it as a 3-man squad so far. And the rest of the team, yeah, looks like they're all going to be positioned all up there. I'm looking at Unicorns of Love, what they're looking to do. All in a pretty far away position. I don't think they want to make the drive up because they know that Footballists is looking right down this mountain waiting for them.
So Footballists 100% have a lot more to lose in this this potential for the fight because they are in 16th on this these points. Meanwhile, Unicorns of Love first place when it comes to points this week. So Unicorns of Love can pretty much do whatever they want to do. So to me, with them being up on top of you at your doormat like that, Footballists need to be on their P's and their Q's and make sure to defend that position up there, or maybe even catch Unicorns of Love in the back because the next zone did pop here. And Footballists they need to tread lightly here, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, they got to be careful here because they're in a really bad spot, and there's only this game and one more, and that's it. And they're not in top 16. They are not making it into the final Super Weekend here. Footballists, they go see that beautiful diamond Tesla, looking pretty. Full sending it all around. And these guys, it's so crazy to see every single team utilize the same strategy. All of them are going to be hugging the circle, even possibly going up to the bridge. And you're going to see a little bit of a collision here. Footballists getting very, very close to Furious Gaming. You got Supermassive Blaze and Unicorns of Love right behind them. And then on the other side, look at all the teams doing the same thing with the hug circle. Like Fenerbahce, all these teams. I mean, it's going to be just chaos here in the next few seconds.
Oh, Rebo on the Soulcave. Is that a bolt?
Nice shots
from the vehicle?
No way.
I'm looking at the kill feed.
I want the replay.
Replay.
I want the replay right now.
Wow.
Right now.
Okay. Well, we'll get that worked on for you, Hot Jukes. As Footballists are looking like they're losing a couple on their rotate as they are attempting to send it into a more centralized position. We were just talking about Footballists. Currently 16th overall this week. Yes, they are technically there, but they are right there. They got, 35 points? Right behind them is the Black Dragons with 34 points. Woo. So there's not a lot of room for error here in the next two maps for them.
Same thing even goes with Team Kessel. That's even bigger, right? I mean, they only have 36 points. It's only 1 point above Footballists. And if they don't make it into this Super Weekend, their tournament is over. You know, if Footballists don't make it, we'll most likely see them in the finals. Yeah. It'd be crazy to see them without playing a Super Weekend. But still, if Team Queso don't, it's done. It's done.
It's
done. They have 1 point so far. They are holding the school side. So Team Queso holding edge. I'm a little bit nervous for them because the way they're playing so far, playing it so passive, I think the only way they get a good performance here is that the circle goes to them, in all honesty.
Not only that, if they do qualify, the battle just began, right? For Team Queso. Like, that's just the beginning of the challenge ahead.
But at least the door opens, right? At least the door opens, because if they don't, then that door is the door, Dave. The door.
I think it's still kind of open. They have options to work with right now. If I'm them, I'm thinking.
Why is Lonnie?
I'm thinking if I want to play this really safe, I know this sounds a little weird, maybe even unorthodox, but maybe just trying to at least send one of your squad mates in the water to kind of swim up there towards the north and just go for those placement points. Meanwhile, while keeping the other 3 squad mates grouped up, teamed up, and working together as a unit. That is just my call because of their position on the overall leaderboard and the level of that's riding on this game.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do. Here they go, full sitting on it. Lanny full went all the way up to get those angles. Ayala getting a very crucial kill onto the Mad Bulls. That's a big one there. They do end up surviving and adding another point to their total score. And we're going to see how the rest of the squads look to fare. They still are not in this zone, so they're going to have to send it on into the wide open. Team Castle just looking to survive here, looking to extend their tournament life. While there's a party up over here in Watertown.
It's a party. And I know people are like in the chat like, oh, that's crazy, Dave. I don't know. I think having one player kind of off on their own, just trying to go for those placement points, kind of being that insurance policy, that might be something that they might want to at least consider, which we've seen in the past before utilized by other teams. So we'll see, because Sun, recent, Besiktas, this was a team that we were just chatting about a couple moments ago. They're going to be right on the other end of this hill from Team Queso. Team Queso need to defend this one. They cannot get taken out here.
Not a good angle from Lonnie. He has to realize that. As soon as I saw that drive up, I was like, he's going to die if he gets out that vehicle. And it looks like that did hit his mindset. So he's going to drive away and leave his teammates in this dip. This is a very good spot. That's a beautiful knock there onto Recent. That's going to help out Team Kessel big time. They honestly need to get that revive, and get out of that place. They need to just drive off into another spot.
Spec, popping out, jump shot, UMP! Scope got him just a little bit right there, but was able to come out on top, probably looking to get the vehicle explosion, dip behind that bad boy, get the heal up. Ghost Gaming still looking good with all their vehicles here on the edge, so they can use these vehicles, create their own cover. Now, we were talking about Unicorns of Love. They are in first place when we're talking about this week of league play. They can do whatever they want to do, but over here, Team Queso. Oh, no, Recent cooking a grenade, tossing a grenade, looking to score the grenade. Oh, taking out so much health right there. Here's the follow-up. Here's the follow-up. The bounce in the bull, and you're done. And you're done. There goes Team Queso, 13th position this game.
I saw it coming from a mile away. The second I saw that zone shift. Really unfortunate finish for them with only 3 points. Unfortunate for them, but we have to move on. I mean, hey, when you perform like that, we just can't talk about you very much. Black Dragons go down. Team Queso putting their hands up in the air. That's huge. You know, now they got to hope Footballist does the same. They got to, because Ghost Navi still alive, and to be honest with you, with the performances that we can see from these squads, Navi get the circle here. This is huge. Like, they could end up getting an easy 20-30 point game here.
Oh man. So Team Queso, they have their fingers crossed that Aton, Navi, Ghost, and Black Dragons all get taken out like right here, right now, with no points, right? With no points. But right now, I don't know if that's going to be happening. Ghost already with 4 elim points. Navi with 1, but they have a nice position. Aton still alive as well with 1 elim point. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. This is gonna be rough for Team Queso watching on the sidelines.
I mean, you have to literally hope that these teams throw.
Right now, too. Like right now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, like right now.
They can't get any more points.
Literally. Yeah, and it's so unlikely. I mean, Ghost has 4 kills. They have 4 up, 4 vehicles. You know that they love Erangel. They know that they love to be able to set up these wall strats. They're going to full send it all the way around onto Unicorns of Love, who is split right now, or they only have 2 up left. And Ghost is going to come and clean these houses out 4v2, unless Unicorns of Love can make something happen. Dylan, beautiful, beautiful shot there from Ill. You can see if Ghost is going to be able to get this done. HH24 switching to that Uzi, getting that CQC action. They need to be able to work as a team, utilize each other. Ooh, they lost 1. Oh my goodness, Ill finishes 2 players. Unicorns of Love refusing to go down.
Yeah, this is great news
Oh
here.
my
Spec, the
goodness,
last one alive,
2v4.
tossing a grenade. Fresh is really good with the health. Lin was able to pop that heal. Now they're looking for that wraparound. There goes Spec connecting onto Lin. 1v1 Hot Jukes.
That was a huge 1v1 there, but I mean, Unicorns of Love already got the last lap. This was 4v2, and they've already taken out 3. Can they get the squad wipe? It's Fresh versus Spec. 1v1. This is the action we're waiting to see. Beautiful pre-fire there from Fresh. Getting the angle. Spec, he's putting Spec into the washing machine. The left, the right. Spec with the clutch switch. Trying to catch some angles. Look at these guys go at it, and Spec gets the last lap!
Okay. Wow, what a long, drawn-out battle. Woo! Shout out to Fresh right there, but Spec
like
coming in clutch. Yeah, Spec needed to clutch that one out. And you know who's on the sidelines looking at that team? Queso. They were hoping Spec was taken out right there. Still, one more up for Ghost. 6 elim points. I'm looking at teams like Na'Vi as well. Aton's still alive. So Team Queso, they are sweating bullets right now from the sideline, Hot Jukes.
Dude, they're not just sweating bullets. They are punching the air right now because this is just worst case scenario. 3 of the teams on the bottom that you do not want to perform are all at the top here. Ghost, Spec clutching it up at the end. That's only going to mean more and more placement points, and the gap is too close for comfort. They could easily pass them up here. They only have a 9-point difference between them and Team Queso, and they've already got 6 kills. They're already going to close that gap. Here goes Super Massive Blaze. Tron. Oh, it looks like Scream actually popped out the buggy a little too early, so he's going to go down to fall damage. Trigger from Furious Gaming. Last one up. Well, actually, there's one more up. Yeah, one more up on another angle here. That's going to be Zin. That's right. The different Trigger.
2 brothers. I'm really looking at Aton. I know there's a ton of action in the north right here, but Aton, they need a solid performance here this game. I feel like that's the team with the most riding on this. If they don't qualify for this Super Weekend, that might be their ticket on out. So over here, Rise, huge performance last game. They were able to get up there in that top 16. Nunez really low in the health, going to be popping back below, looking for that heal. Mythic, though, spotting those toes. You got to watch those toes. EQ taken out.
Watch the feet. Navi, only 1 up left for them as MQ gets finished. And we'll see how he's going to be able to fare here towards the end. Rise, I mean, man, after that last game, they bounced themselves all the way up to 11th place, and they're going to get only higher. Mythic, he's got, he switched away from the MG3, which blows my mind, but it looks like that was the right play because Supermassive Blade goes down right then and there in 6th place. 5 teams remaining.
We talk about the momentum meter. Rise, that momentum meter after last game is just at an all-time high. 10 elim points here this game too. Like, yeah, they are just slaying in. That to me is a concern for these other squads in the lobby who are just trying their best to qualify. So they got the high ground, they got Mythic, they got Gary up here looking to do some scouting. Furious now. They got the revives down below, but Furious now the new targets in their sidelines.
Furious need to get angry here if they want to stand a chance against Rise because you got Gary up on top. And we've seen what Gary can do when the man has the high ground. And they've got all the angles in the world. Furious Gaming just throwing smokes down, trying to survive, trying to hold on. Spec on the off angle, still up. Literally, the worst thing for Team Kessel. 3 teams, Aton, Ghost, and Na'Vi just chilling. Because they're going to get up into another placement here because I guarantee you Rise and Furious Gaming, they're not going to finish and even look the other direction until one of these teams is out.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is the moment for Aton to kind of come up with a plan on where to go next. Mythic with the MG3, look at that thing, just the shredder. Not going to be pushing downhill with the M4, using these smokes for some type of soft cover to block those sightlines from Zin. Uh-oh, spotting Spec though, getting the vehicle explosion. Ghost getting in 5th place. Jump shot.
And then,
my
goodness.
7 elim points this game.
Mythic just doing it big here towards the end, making a name for himself. Aton doing what Aton should do. Just sit down and wait, because guess what? You got the zone. Now it's time to stand up. Your waiting is done. They need to start playing hyper aggressive and not allow Rise even close into this next circle. And look at Matic from Na'Vi, desperate. laying down, just happy, so happy that Alpha 7's not here.
Yeah, so happy indeed, and happy to still be alive. Top 3, 3rd place gets you 10 points guaranteed. This is exactly what these teams needed. Na'Vi, they came into this match 19th overall. Aton came into this match 20th overall for this league play week. Jukes.
Look at Matic, dude. He's got that tall grass, dude. He has got that tall grass. He moved. He did make a move. That may gonna give a pixel spot to Rise.
They're not even looking.
But instead, he's not even looking this direction. He's just creeping closer and closer, staying so quiet. And Nunez, with his position, they have no clue that Matic's there. I think that Rise feels that they're going up against a full 4-man team of Aton. And they have no clue. Matic can really cause a problem here. When is he gonna take those shots though? That's the question. Rise have no clue. They have no clue Matic's even there at all. They're not even gonna look backwards, I guarantee you. No way they check their backs here.
No way.
No way.
Crawling
all
up.
eyes on Aton.
Nunez looking around. Nunez looking around. Nunez is like,
Spidey
something
senses.
might be off over here, but Matic is right on top of him.
You see the Spider-Man collab coming in with PUBG Mobile very soon, and I tell you what, these players need to activate their Spidey senses, because here comes Matic. Closer and closer.
Gary!
Right behind them.
You have to feel it.
Shots. Gary! Turn around, Gary! Gary! Use your instincts!
Gary!
Survive, Gary! Matic's so close! Oh my goodness, he can smell them! He can smell them, they're not gonna move! Oh, what? How?
Matic!
How, Gary? Gary, look to your left! Look to your left, Gary!
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 Gary! Come on!
Gary! Come on, Gary! Look at the shimmies. Shimmy to the left. Just, oh my gosh, Matic. Could you be any closer? The man could throw a pan at him right now. Literally. I wonder if he decides to even switch to a nade. Honestly, dude, this guy's adrenaline has to be pumping out of his mind.
Oh, Gary!
Gary! Gary, look! Gary, look! And Matic goes down, finally!
Wow.
Now, Aton, use that as an opportunity to pull center on and ask them with a beautiful laydown. Oh, Mythic's got the MG3 though! What can you do up against it? You can't do nothing! It's all Rise Esports, baby!
Aton, they did play that one really nicely though. Once when Gary was spotted and that distraction, Gary was knocked down, they immediately recognized, okay, now's the time to push, and Aton, they all pushed. Unfortunate for them, their opponents had the MG3, and within that range, that thing just shreds, and we saw take down 2 of the Aton squad mates just right there in the blink of an eye. But great game, still great game for Na'Vi. Huge, great game for Aton 7 as well. Huge games. This is exactly what these two teams needed. This last final match, Hot Jukes, we're gonna see all types of changing up on the overall leaderboard for that 14th, that 15th, and even that 16th position. I believe. Wow.
It's gonna be so close, like so unbelievably close, because literally right there, Na'Vi, 3rd place, that's 10 placement points by itself. Aton in 2nd, that's 12 placement points by themselves, not even including the kills that they got. So, I mean, Rise have risen, baby. I mean, they are set and good to go for the finals, you know, just straight dunking on them towards the end. But Na'Vi, Aton making some noise, and Team Yeso, they are poised, dude, to not make it into this last one once again. I mean, if you would have told me that Team Gesso was not going to make it even into one super weekend before that, I would have bet the house that that's a lie.
Ah, man. Well, one more game to go. A lot is going to be riding on the line for a lot of these teams that we keep stressing. We keep stressing about them. We're keeping the main storylines running here. I know we've been seeing a lot of action throughout the entirety of these past couple games, but there's just a couple teams that they have so much more riding on the line. We've talked about XZ, they qualified, they're not playing the last game. They will be playing in their first super weekend. Now a lot of eyes are going to be on Team Queso to see if they qualify or not, Hot Jukes.
I mean, this is going to be so close. It's literally going to come down not just to the last game, it's going to come down to the last second, literally. Because these leaderboards, I mean, I can only do so much math in my head. Oh! Stop them in his tracks. And that's what, honestly, that's what Team Queso needs to do against the squads right below them. Exactly that. But I tell you what, they're coming at them in that exact same fashion, Dave. They're coming hunting.
That right there was a scene from a movie. I'm telling you. It looked like it was in slow motion for me, man. My life flashed before my eyes. I can only imagine if I was in the game playing. But Mythic, jump shot, hip fire. And for Mythic is on a tear. Oh, that's the EMT3 right there. That's what we talked about. That 1-2 double knockdown right there. So, GG. The question now on my mind, Hot Jukes, and I'm sure the analysts will kind of touch on this. There's so many teams at the top who are 100% comfortable. They are big chillin'. I talk about big chillin'. I don't use that lightly. They are big chillin'. Will they decide to ruin the plans, the last game for a couple of these teams who are going to be giving it their all? Well, that's what we're going to find out here in a couple of moments. But first, let's head on over to the analysts.
Gary, I love that. I love that. That cracks me up, Jukes. Thank you for that. I mean, Matic, how did he not get spotted for so long? I really thought that was kind of the nail in the coffin for them at the end there, but it's on Esports. 7 unfortunately just wasn't able to capitalize off of that advantage that they were given.
They really weren't. I feel like they got a little bit too excited there as soon as they saw a knock from the other team, from Rise, and they just full send it, but they full send it in a way that they weren't really prepared for. Overall, though, Navi did exactly what Navi needed to do. They got those placement points. They were able to also get some elims along the way. Rise, you heard the casters talk about it. You heard Hot Jukes and Mustache Dave talk about it. They rised up when they needed to. And Glitter, I know we were both, especially you were screaming at that end because Mythic is a god.
He was just better, okay? Do you see this? Almost 1,600 damage for just Mythic. 10 elims out of the 17 that they had from this game. Almost 50% of the team contribution here. I mean, this is a performance and a half, to say the least, right now. I mean, I don't know what happened with Rise, but this is the Rise I want to see for the rest of this season. I want to see this in Super Weekend. I want to see this in finals because they have had incredible performances so far today. As we take a look here at the weekday rankings, you can see just how far up the leaderboard Rise has shot themselves now with just a couple games with solid amounts of elims under their belt.
It's so crazy how much can change within just one game. And what I'm excited for is because a lot of those teams that needed to step up, stepped it up in a big way. So that only means that all those places, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all of those are going to be even closer. And just to put that into perspective, 12th place through 20th place, Glitter, it's only separated by 18 points. And we just saw what Rice was able to do. Team Queso, it's barely hanging on. They need to have an amazing match in this last one.
I'm stressed out. So Footballist is only 4 points behind Queso. Queso's 1 behind Ghost. Ghost just now, you can see the arrow next to their name, they just now put themselves in the top 16 spot, but they're barely holding on to it because Black Dragons are also at 35. So if Footballist or Black Dragons have a crazy performance, then they can easily leapfrog, and that's still, you know, there's still 2 more teams that are left that can do the same thing. And it's a Miramar. Miramar has since become our wild card when Sandhawk is not an option, and this could literally be anybody's game.
It's kind of scary. It's terrifying for us. I mean, Seven already said that his nails are going to be gone. My nails are going to be gone. They're just going to be completely destroyed because coming into this last one, you guys already talked about it. All these teams are really going to have to give it our all. And some of these teams that we're kind of expecting to have made it into the Super Weekend are just not. And based off of that is obviously going to go ahead and actually influence that Super Weekend into the finals. But yeah, look at that. Just 1 more on Miramar. Last time, Glitter, you called it a wild card game. It was one of the most insane Miramar matches, I feel like, this entire time. So now my expectations have kind of gone up even more going into this last Miramar because everything literally hangs on this. And this being the wild card match that you brought up again, it just makes me more and more scared, I guess you can say, and of course excited to see what's going to happen.
Oh, 1,000,000%, especially when we consider, I mean, you just mentioned it, Seven, Na'Vi starting to get those placement points that they really needed. We saw how long they were able to snake behind Rise and hope that they could maybe get a second place finish, unable to do so. But Na'Vi, Atan being those other two teams that are now in that bottom of 4 spot underneath Footballist and Black Dragons. And both of those teams are teams that are capable of having a strong performance. All 4 of those teams right now that are in that dangerous spot can literally take home this win. I mean, especially on Miramar, maybe it goes the way of Black Dragons. I don't even know how we're supposed to pick who we want to win here, Span, because I have no clue how this is going to play out.
I was actually already dreading them asking who we were going to predict for this next one, because you're right. I mean, I have absolutely no clue. Might just close my eyes and point at my screen and choose that one, because honestly, I feel like that's how it's going to go, no? So we'll just have to wait and see. We're obviously going to go on ahead and still pick one and have our reasonings for it as well. I have a feeling I might know what Seven's going to choose, but we'll have to wait and see. Because first, we have to tell you guys, I might do it myself, go on ahead and click on the rewards down below, right beside the YouTube channel link, because you can link your YouTube account to your PUBG Mobile account and go on ahead and get yourself some more PUBG PMGC tokens. So like, why wouldn't you go on ahead and do that? So just go on ahead and link it really quickly. And that leads again to another questions for you guys to answer inside of this chat. We're done with, of course, our first 5 matches, but it leads to this: which team will perform the best on Miramar? We had 3 whole Miramars today, so who do you guys think will do the best? We'll be right back after this short break to see our very last match of this weekday games, so we'll be back soon.
For this flame path, going from Primals all the way up to just between. Hang on a minute. I don't think carpooling is a thing in PMGC. Oh, then. Oh. To the side, get to the tree. That's your cover.
Get over here!
And get your teammate involved. I don't know. I feel like this is a painful situation if you're Satar. Let's see if he has any tricks up his sleeve. This guy's got the moves. He's got the moves, got the PMGC outfit. He looks clean. He's right up the top of the car. I'm gonna need backup. Who's gonna go in now? Magic Man himself, Satar. But in comes another player. Ooh. To try and what for, and this time, oh, he's got a gun. Okay, yeah, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, dodging cars is one thing.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
PMGC West, it is the very last match. This is the thing that we've all been waiting for, to see which top 16 teams are going to be making it into our very last super weekend. A lot of stuff is just hanging by a thread. Everything is on the line. We're going to be playing on this last Miramar match 7. I'm just going to toss it over to you immediately because it's the same groups as last match, but still the tensions are high. We already talked about what teams, but anything else?
Definitely. I mean, everything is just so close. I mentioned it, from 12th place to 20th place. The only difference is 18 points, and I'm pretty sure some of these teams can definitely get those amount of points in this next match. I want to see how some of these teams are going to be playing. I said it in the previous one, how they were going to be playing passive. We got some passive game style out of some of these teams, but then you had Rise that absolutely went on just crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. I don't know how else to explain it besides just for them to be able to get 17 millions and the chicken dinner. Like, that's taking your fate by your hands. They wanted to make sure they didn't even have to worry about this last match.
Oh man, you know what? Another thing that they probably don't have to worry about, along with going on ahead and playing a little bit better, a little bit more thoughtful, is of course owning themselves a 1+9 or 9 Pro. Because with the flagship performance and immersive 120Hz display and hypertext technology made specifically for gamers, 1+9 and 9 Pro are anybody's best chance to go on ahead and climb the leaderboard. So Hopefully they got their game plan ready. Hopefully they got their phones ready. Hopefully their thumbs are warmed up. I don't even know what else to say at this point because this is the very last match that obviously matters, and I'm just going to jump right on into it. Seven, who's going to win this last match? Who do you think? I mean, it could be anybody. You can choose anybody, but along with that, like, who needs this?
Okay, Glitter, I need some backup. You tell me yours first, okay? I'm still thinking of it here. I'm asking YouTube chat.
Okay, okay. We'll see what YouTube chat tells you. I went with one of our bottom four, okay? One of the teams that needs to make a massive push in this last game to get themselves in a top 16 spot, and it's Miramar, so I went with Black Dragons. I know that they can do this. They've done well on Miramar before, and this is their last opportunity to get themselves in there, so that's who I'm going with.
Okay. Okay, Seven, are you ready? Are you still channeling YouTube chat?
Give me 10 more seconds.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah, you know, I got this. I'm pretty confident. Hopefully, I'm channeling my inner Hot Jukes. Actually, I went on ahead and chose Ghost because last Miramar, I mean, it was Rise definitely just completely kind of just rolled over them in the fight that they were in, and we already kind of talked about how Ghost needs to be making it into the Super Weekend. They're just on the fine line of 15th place right now for this weekday game, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose Ghost and see if they're going ahead and pull it out in the end like they seem to be able to do usually. So I'm going with Ghost.
I was going to say, careful there, channeling your Hot Jukes. They picked Ghost in the last one and they literally died like 10 seconds after. It happens, okay? It happens to the best of us. By the way, I kill C-Nox and Coops in boot camp. You told me the wrong team, so you're definitely going to get timed out on YouTube. I did get somebody else to tell me a better team. Josh Wright on YouTube chat, collecting all those rewards, told me to go with Unicorns of Love. So I'm going to choose Unicorns of Love for this next one, and I think it will be actually an interesting pick, because if this team does come out hot, if this team does get a lot of points, it's going to hinder some of those teams that are fighting for the bottom, fighting to make it to the top 16, so it's going to be interesting. But Josh, remember, if you get it wrong, you will get timed out.
That's kind of scary. That kind of makes me, oh my goodness, I wouldn't even want to type the YouTube chat. Don't time me out. I don't have fancy powers like you do, Seven. But okay, so those are the teams that we kind of chose. We already talked about our expectations. There's still a ton of stuff on the line in this. Is there anything else we want to say before we just get into the action, before everything, of course, is out of our hands?
Best of luck.
Yeah, right?
Don't choke. This is going to be exciting. I am so happy that I am not a player in this. I'm nervous just watching this. How about you, Glitter? I'm like shaking.
I'm very, very stressed and excited. I'm ready to see who makes it into that final Super Weekend and then how things shake out from there. And I'm still currently pulling for a little bit of a water zone.
Still, oh man, you're right. I want those southern islands. That's kind of what I want going into this one. But yeah, just basically good luck, have fun. That's all I can say, because we're about to be jumping in to our very last match to determine who's going on to our last Super Weekend. So here you go to Miramar.
Oh, baby, here we go, everybody. The last game here of the league play. Final one that we're going to see in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship West, dude. I mean, top 16 here, they're going into the final the final Super Weekend, and the bottom, they are going home. Dave.
Yeah.
You are the stat man.
Man.
Stat man. Dave, tell me, who?
Hey, Seven is banning people. I'm banning people too. I'm banning people too.
You know what? Everybody getting banned, baby. Let's go.
If you don't make the right prediction right now in the chat, we're gonna time you out. I see Glitter in the chat. I see Hot Juice. We're all watching. I see Seven in the chat. We're all watching. So right now in the chat, put down who you think will be getting the final winner chicken dinner of league play. PMGC 2021. West side is the best side. My man. All right, your question. What was it again?
Who's gonna win? Who needs to win this one?
Tell us. Aton for sure, right? Because if Aton don't win this one, looking at their overall league standings, they might just lose it and not qualify for the final. So I'm looking at Aton, and obviously we gotta be looking at Team Queso, a team that has not played any Super Weekends yet. They are top 16, 39 points, but right behind them,
Footballist with 35. Black Dragons with 35. Awfully close, Hot Jukes.
Oh, getting way too close. There goes Fresh from Unicorns of Love. To be honest with you, all I want to see is the squads at the bottom. That's it. I want to see who is going to be able to make it. This is what I want to see right here. Look at this. Navi,
Yes,
Aton, right next to each other. This and oh, and it looks like they already lost Tixie. That's horrible for Navi.
Yeah, both teams 19th and 20th.
Oh no, Kitsune.
That's a free point.
Not like
That's a free
this.
point.
No gun.
Cardi, come on
there.
Cardi.
Bop, 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 bop.
That's a
Bang.
free point. Wow.
Ooh.
So Navi, okay,
Ooh.
Hot Jukes, I know we want them to play in the Super Weekend, obviously. We're huge Navi fans. But big picture, oh, who's that? The Dukin Machine. Bigger picture, Navi, they're in 9th on the overall league standings. They might just be okay if they don't qualify. When I'm talking finals, all right? They might just be okay. But those are still games that they're going to be missing that I feel like they're going to be falling behind when it comes to the meta in the lobby and just staying warmed up, ready to go to participate in those finals. So, Navi,
Black Dragons.
Are they down to 2? Down to 2?
They're down to 2 already. And they're in trouble as well. Literally, they're at 18th right now with 35 points. Navi is in dead last place. And it's looking like, Dave, that's where they're going to stay. I can't believe I'm saying it. But only one up left for Navi at the start of this one. What happened?
What happened is Los Leones in general, or at least south of Los Leones, is just a clown fiesta. There's a ton of teams. Eastern Stars down there on the coast. You got Matic trying to survive now, I think, if Matic's the last one alive. Fenerbahce, Unicorns of Love, just a ton of chaos. And then over here, SMB versus Ghost. So, yeah, I'm really looking at, we got to be looking at Team Queso, right? Because they have yet to play in a Super Weekend that we recently saw before last game. Xset were able to punch their ticket to play in their first Super Weekend. Now a lot of eyes are going to be on Team Queso if they could do the same thing.
Well, let's see right now. Dave, you know what? I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now. And I'm seeing some predictions going on right now. So before I start telling you the predictions I see in the chat, what's your prediction, Dave? Who's winning this match?
Honestly, if I had to put it all on the line, who's winning this chat?
Yep.
Or who's winning this game? I kind of give it away. I was going to say chat. I was going to say the viewers.
The
viewers are the
viewers. No.
Shout out to the viewers. Shout out to I see Powerbang in the chat. Powerbang's winning this game. Let's be real. When Powerbang's in the chat, he's winning the game. Dude,
Papa PB, man. Make
real.
sure you give that man. And as a matter of fact, I watched, PB himself said Fenerbahce is winning this one.
What?
That's his prediction.
PB
That's
going
what he
for Fenerbahce. Okay, okay.
He said it himself. He said they've been hovering around top 3 all month long. They need to get a dub. So Fenerbahce, you can't let Papa PB down. You gotta pop off.
The real question, Hot Jukes, though, if Fenerbahce does not win, does 7 timeout Powerbang? That's what 7's saying. Hey,
that's the question.
That's the question.
That is correct. That is the question.
That's a big question, yeah. Okay.
Well,
I wouldn't
we'll
want to
see.
have that responsibility. Let's just say.
I'm going to say 7 doesn't have the grapes to pull that one off, But, we'll see. We'll see. It is the PMGC. It is the PMGC. Anything can happen. And, Navi is a solo. A solo in a dream. Anything can happen. No, I'm kidding. They're done. Team Queso. Team Queso.
Yeah.
That's the dream I want to see, to be honest. If I'm making a pick, I want to see Team Queso win this because I love an underdog story,
And look who's
I
out
want
here.
to see the talk.
A7. A7, of course,
On the
A7
hunt.
are going to be the ones to possibly punch the ticket out for Navi, right? Matic is down there on the coastline. But A7, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I'm just pointing out the facts here that A7 are trying to make sure that Navi do not play in the last Super Weekend. That's something else. That is a rivalry, if you have to ask me.
So much of a rivalry. I mean, you touched on it before we got to the break. I was thinking the same thing. Top teams, they could do whatever they want here. They're looking at the leaderboards too. A7 could literally just be driving around hunting down Team Queso or any team that they want to. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they hunt down Na'Vi. I mean, literally, they've already been hunted down at the start, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's exactly what they're doing because, I mean, they've been bullying them all tournament long, and they can do whatever they want. I'm really seeing people in the chat, you know, to say that, you know, they're expecting that hot drop. It didn't happen here. But, you know, Na'Vi could easily get camped by Alpha 7. But to be honest, I think it doesn't even matter at this point. I mean, with them losing 3 that off the bat,
yeah,
I just hate to see it.
Well, to be honest, too, if we're all being honest, I'm still really stuck on the fact of the overall league standings because I'm looking at them. And Na'Vi not playing in the last Super Weekend, I'm not too concerned. They have, what, 228 total points. I don't see them getting bumped out by not playing those 3 days to not play in the finals. The thing is, though,
I'm concerned.
You're concerned. Why?
Big time.
Why?
I mean, Alpha 7's playing in the final Super Weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So, like...
But what does that mean?
They can choose to do it, play it however they want to play it, you know? And if they don't want Na'Vi to be in the finals, you know, they could take out squads accordingly to make sure that Na'Vi doesn't make it.
That's a possibility. That is. And with the way A7 have been playing so far for the West League, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they got a whiteboard and that exact plan is on that whiteboard, right? Like, I'm just being honest here. A7, to me, they have not shown any love to Na'Vi. They've shown the opposite of that. And their team looking to really dominate and be known as the best team from the West heading into those finals and most likely heading into the, you know, the biggest tournament of the year coming up.
Yes, sir, indeed. And I mean, we're talking the biggest tournament of the year and most likely of all time. I mean, literally, I mean, these prize pools are just nuts. Here coming up, just for this split alone, I mean, over $300,000 for first place, Dave. Back when I competed, the whole tournament was $400K, you know? The whole tournament, you know, and now first place, they're giving away over 300 grand alone, over $400,000 in just first and second place. And that's just for the West. East is getting the same thing. It's just so crazy to see how much we have risen here in this esports, and the players, the teams have risen as well. And speaking of squads that need to rise up, you know, Ghost are sitting on the line. They are in 15th place. Yeah, with only 40 points, 1 point above Team Queso. Right below them, Footballist, 35 points. And they've got a couple points. There we go. This is really big. The team that needs to do it, and they can't get them.
They're in the blue, too. I know they're right there on the edge, but talk about playing the slow game out here. I don't know, Hot Jukes. For me, honestly, if I'm Team Queso,
Black Dragon's gone. They're done.
They're done in the sense they're not playing Super Weekend number 3. They're not done in the sense of not making it to the finals. They're 10th place on the overall league standing. So they're kind of similar to Na'Vi when I'm talking bigger picture. But still, yeah, you definitely want to play in the last Super Weekend to stay warmed up, stay alert, stay ready to go. Honestly, Team Queso, though. It has to be Team Queso. They're in the blue. They have Rise. Mufasa. I think Mufasa is by themselves, but Mufasa, you have to assume, is going to be relaying that information back to his teammates like, hey, we got a squad over here. It might be Team Queso. Do we want to take them out?
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, here's the problem, though. Rise is already in a position where they know they're going to make it, Axe! Oh, just barely missing that headshot opportunity. The problem, though, is that Team Queso, they're in a position behind him! Mufasa, and he's going to get the finish on the Axel. 4v3. And now Rise knows this is Team Queso. They know. So Rise can literally just go and hunt them down, and they don't even care if they go out. No. They could just force Team Queso's hand, take a couple players with them, and that enough maybe the ticket for Team Queso to just be done here. This is so huge. If you're a Team Queso fan, get some hype in the chat. Give them all your energy because they need it right now.
Not only that, you got Gary on the case. Whoa! Whoa! Back to the Team Queso. Back to the Team
happening?
So I'm
What's
pulling the
happening
car,
here?
the red
No,
car
no,
out
no, no.
here.
Ayala gets a knock on Gary. I'm just staring at the chat. I'm just staring at the kill feed. Ayala gets a knock on to Gary. That is so huge, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that's happening on the screen. Who cares? We're looking at the PKSO. And come on, please. Okay, see at the bottom. There it is.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
so close.
One down from Rise. So it looks like Team Queso are slowly making the comeback, but we have to remember they're in the blue zone, so it's going to be chunking them down just a little bit. I do see them making the push. Oh, that off angle though. The Scar prone off angle from downtown from Mufasa. Ayala needs to take out Mufasa. That's a fact before Mufasa gets to confirms across the way. And now, Team Queso down to just Ayala.
Ayala! So clutch there to be able to get that one. He needs to at least get that confirmed point, and he is running for his life because it really is the entire tournament
Gary.
life is on their back of Ayala. Ghost got eliminated here early. That's super huge. Super huge for Team Queso. But Gary's coming. The man, the myth, the legend. Ayala, run for your life. Run for your life,
Don't even
Ayala.
take this fight.
You do not want to. You don't
this
want.
fight.
You don't want none of what Gary's serving. I'll tell you that right now. Because if you do, you're gonna order the 2-piece. And there's the one.
Oh no! Here comes Gary Nunez. Team Queso taken out in 13th position. That gets you 0 points for placement points. Now, okay, Jukes, it's not done yet though. They were in 16th coming into this game. They had 39 points. Black Dragon's already done. We need to pay attention to Footballist, Aton, and Navi. If those 3 teams get taken out early, Team Queso might just
Navi eliminated.
So Navi dead. So that's another one. So Aton and Footballist are the 2 teams that Team Queso are looking at right now to get taken out.
Now here's the thing. Team Queso did get a couple. Team Queso got a couple of limbs, right?
How many?
Got a couple. I don't know.
One,
I don't
maybe?
know. They got only. I think they only got like a couple kills, maybe one.
Maybe one.
And we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So Ghost got eliminated super early. I don't think I saw any kills on them. You know, I'm gonna have short-term memory loss here at the end here because I mean I want to just wait and see who's gonna win this one. But when it comes to that, this is gonna be just down to the wire. It's really all eyes are on both Aton and Footballist. Because if Team Queso did have enough points to pass up Ghost, then both of these teams would have to surpass them.
Yeah. I mean, right now it goes with 40 points coming into this game. Team Queso with 39 points coming in this game. And we can see Team Queso, they did get 1 kill. They got the 40 right there on the right-hand side of the leaderboard.
So close. This is going to be so close. You can see them, 40 points. 40 points is what they're sitting at. Football is still up. Aton is still up. And Footballists only need, what, 1 more point? Correct me if I'm wrong?
So that's looking like. So
we can see it there at the bottom right? Yeah, it's okay. So we got the whole leaderboard right there up. So we're going to find out live, ladies and gentlemen, who's going to make it into this super weekend. And Aton is still up in this one. Alpha 7, the zone shifts onto them like they needed it, right? They are sitting pretty up in this one. As right now, all my eyes are focusing on these squads. Aton are going to be right there on the road to San Martin. And I can't really get eyes on Footballists just yet. But they are, I'm sure, on the move. This is going to be a close one here, Dave.
it is. It is. So we shall see. As Gary still looking to make moves. The legend definitely looking to get that respect back on their name. I saw the replay. Gary looked over, thought for a second, hey, is that an enemy or is that one of my teammates? And before they can even fire, was taken out. So that was something else, not gonna lie. That was something else. But Gary out here putting in work though. Still hot jukes. Where we're talking about Rise, 2 games ago, they were not in top 16. And then 2 games in a row, they've been slaying it, man. They've been getting a bunch of kill points, limb points, and placement points. So Rise definitely showing up to the occasion when it mattered.
Yes, sir, indeed. Gary, oh my goodness, just too good. Winning that 1v1 against Eastern Stars, and he's just up left. I mean, the man has done enough, okay? Gary has set the pace. He's going to full send it on into another member. Here comes Bozzy. Can he get the drive away? Oh, Gary, full sending on the run. Bozzy has to hit the reload. Gary, yeah, pops out the vehicle and gets taken out there. So Rise already set pretty where they need to be. All eyes, though, right now are going to be on still. Footballist and Aton. Absolutely right.
So Footballist, they are in San Martin. Nice little compound they're holding down, all grouped up, hard cover, check. Next zone did pop. They are no longer in the zone, so they'll have to reposition. They do have Fenerbahce kind of rolling up right behind them, as we can see them taking a couple shots over here. But besides that, Aton, I'm trying to look for Aton here. Last game, I really thought their performance, their second place, was able to boost them up. But that just goes to show you how far behind they were. They got the second place, and they're still not up there at the top, Hotjuke. So they're looking for another game with solid placement points, but additionally, with some kill points, elim points to go with it to make sure to really seal the deal here.
Well, when I look at the scoreboard, you know, Footballists already had those 4 kills, so they're sitting at 39 points. They've already gotten to top 10, so that is going to be 1 placement point already. By the way, Supermassive Blade, 7 kills to their name. They're having a great finish here that you love to see. Aton, they are just sitting in that building right across, and they are not moving a muscle, and I can't blame them.
So
they know
Footballists, 1 more point. That's going to tie Team Queso, right?
They already got it. They already got it. If they go out now, they get 1 placement point.
Oh, that's so true. 8th through 12th, 1 point. So that's a tie. Holy
That's a tie.
Camoli.
A 3-way tie.
Oh, man. That is something else.
Oh, little 180. That was nice. Fenerbahce. They have the power of Power Bang behind them.
That is true.
And they clutch out a chicken dinner. That's another storyline we got to copy there. You can see Trig.
Next zone.
Is so in trouble, huh?
Footballists, next zone. They're in a great
it.
spot to potentially gatekeep these teams and get some additional elim points. Or will they turtle up? That's the question in my mind right now for Footballists. But yeah, back to one of the main storylines. Fenerbahce looking for the winner chicken dinner, so 7 in the chat doesn't time out Power Bang.
Can't have that happen. You can't have that happen. And you can just see the second we said that, they're full sending it. They want to get that kill. Footballist Rum getting another kill. That's it. They are going to pass them up after that one. And there we go. Now it's all up to the guessing game. We'll see who's going to make it up onto the top as we get on over. Ram getting some nice work onto Nextria across the way. Trying to get that vehicle explosion. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to get it right now. He's gonna have to go back for a heal. Loots with another beautiful shot. Footballist showing up right when it counts.
Yeah,
Where's
really
Aton?
showing up here. And talk
Where's
about
Aton?
the nail biters. The last game showing up. Aton, if they really want to disrupt the leaderboards, they need a chicken dinner, Hotjukes. They need a chicken dinner with a couple kills to go with it. SMB, the duo, trying to put a stop to that. They're also getting fired upon by Besiktas up there on the high ground as Cardi looking to get the pickup on the Asta. Looks like the call was made to just leave them be, and Cardi in the buggy sending it to group up with their squad mate across the road.
And Aton is playing it full passive. They just lost another member in a vehicle explosion, so now they're down to 2. They're full sending it in a vehicle rotation.
Oh, no.
This late, I was like, this is suicide by all words of the imagination, and that is exactly what?
Still alive. Still alive. Can we get the heal? Get the heal.
Bullet.
1 more bullet would have done
The
it.
last bullet literally ran out of ammo. That is the luckiest thing ever for Aton. Are you kidding me?
Fenerbahce, Dukin machine pulling up casually. Squaring up against Footballist. Footballist 5 kills. Soul K looking for that ricochet bounce off the windowsill.
Oh, that's a great name.
does with the 3rd party pull up. That could be an additional couple elim points. And yes, it was Hotjukes.
Soul K coming up big for Footballist here. He felt that nade coming, and he's going to go and try to get those finishes because he just needs those. He knows that they only need a few points. So they're going to full send it on in here and get those secures. The rest of Besiktas are stuck up on top of the hill. They're going to have to send it on down. Will Mafioso help out Footballist? They need it. That is some huge damage, but it looks like they don't because Footballers get all the kills. 10 kills. Footballers popping off when it matters.
Footballers, 10 kills, not slowing down quite yet. I believe down to just the trio as now we're in the top 3 situation. Aton, third place. That will be 10 points. Not sure how many elim points they had, but look at this, Jukes. Talk about the final match. A7, 4 up, 7 elim points, and down below, Footballers with 3.
I think that was so huge from Aton. So huge. Literally, that last bullet, that could have been the difference maker for Aton to survive. We don't know yet. I don't know exactly how many points they end up finishing with. Was it enough for them to pass up Team Kessel? You know, Footballers, you know they did it. They're already in second place with a ton of kills. This is the game they needed. Can they put the final stamp, though? Shut up all the haters and take out the monsters that are Alpha 7.
And you know who's getting timed out? Just gonna say, Fenerbahce, not getting the chicken dinner.
You hate to see it.
Hate to see it. It is what it is. A7 though on the high ground in the mountain tops. Nice little spread they got going on right here. Pretty much controlling the entirety of this zone. Footballers in the shacks right beneath them. Couple smokes tossed out right there. Footballers trying to come up with some type of game plan on how to reposition, but it looks like they need to just rely on their gun skills. They need to hit these shots hot, Jukes. That's the only option right now.
Dave, give me a numbers crunch right here. What is the percentage chance of Footballers to survival here?
-5.
-5. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with -6 because Senatexa and the rest of Alpha 7. I mean, this is what they do best. Lavazin getting thirsted out right there. It's honestly, it's only a matter of time. Revo, please, please. BB didn't get the Fenerbahce prediction, but give the man the snipe. Give the man the flick headshot. To go out here. Sniper legend. Can he do it?
Oh, Lutz getting sprayed upon as well, really low. Solke was able to get into smokes. Carrillo going for 3, the long-range grenade, and the bounce. Solke was knocked out though in the process. Now it's a 1v4.
Senatexa, they got the eyes on him. The pre-fire just too good. And there goes Footballers. Alpha 7 Esports, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be the final chicken dinners winners for League Play. What a finish for them. What a huge one for Footballers when it counted. And honestly, that's what I love to see. I love to see squads that are down and out, back against the wall, and able to pull out a huge game. And honestly, if you're Footballers, you're so stoked. I guarantee you those guys are jumping up, hyped right now.
Yeah. I have to assume they will be able to qualify. I'm not 100% sure, but after that performance, solid placement points, solid kills. The question on my mind, Team Queso though, I know they mentioned to us coming into today, they wanted to play smart and they wanted to capitalize on any opportunity they had to rack up maybe an elim point here, an elim point there. Slow and steady, that was the plan, not risk it. Not risk it for the biscuit, as some would say. And they knew that they had areas to work on, such as their coordination and team comms. Let's see, was it enough here, Hot Jukes? Because they need to play in this last Super Weekend if they want to have that chance to be top 16 and make it to the finals.
It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close. I mean, it's just, you hate to see it. I'm so surprised that they continued to play Edge with their current play style towards the end. The way they've been playing, it just reminds me of like the way we saw pros play a year and a half ago. You know, like you got to start changing your strats. Your rotations have to be just that much faster and so much more on point. You can't hope that the zone just blesses you. And unfortunately, oh, look at that one there.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. I mean, just with the vehicle switch, so brutal.
So going back to Gary, I can't wait. I already know they're gonna put Gary in one of those clips, those funny moment clips, with all the sound effects. That had to have been like the play of the game or the day for me at least. Duke Machine with the spray down.
Beautiful shots there.
Okay.
Vehicle explosion. We'll see that one in there as well. And look at Football is just popping off when they needed to. And then towards the end, with the position that Alpha 7 had, I mean, there's really nothing that you can do. They're just too good there. I mean, Dave,
yeah,
it's all come down to this. It's all come down to this, my man. I mean, it'd be so crazy to see Team Kessel have missed 2 super weekends. You know,
Will they miss 3?
What?
Will they miss 3? That's my question.
Oh, I thought I was about to. Oh, I had to get that information.
Keyword will.
That's the question.
Oh, relax, dude. Will they? Will they? That's the question that everybody wants to know. Well, we got the people waiting to answer said question.
Tell us.
We'll have the answer soon, but honestly, that screaming is exactly how all 3 of us felt when we started seeing all those hot drops from the very beginning of the game. And honestly, we continued to scream throughout it, right, 7? That was just speechless.
That was insane. I mean, Alpha 7 just showed up and told everybody, hey, we're still Alpha 7, okay? Calm down. And then Footballers, Glitter, Footballers alongside with Adon Esports, they stepped up when they needed it the most. I am so hyped to see who's actually going to be making it to the Super Weekend. By the way, Team Queso, I don't know if you guys are going to make it.
It's just not looking good, okay? Not looking good. But the fact that Footballers and Atan really they absolutely crushed it in this last game, did exactly what they needed to do. I think that people might be a little bit upset when we see these overall rankings towards the end of this. Of course, our MVP is Revo. A7 deciding that they couldn't let any of those teams that needed to make their way in go out on top for this last match. They wanted to remind everybody who the bosses are. They got 643 damage for Rio, 4 elims, 34% of the team contribution. I mean, it was just yet another clean A7 game, but what I'm really focusing on now is some of the incredible performances we saw out of our teams and players today. I want to see those repeated in our Super Weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh man, if we thought that the games today were insane, I'm sure that our Super Weekend is going to be even more so, because there are going to be a couple of teams, I assume, that are going to really need to be scrapping it out to make it into the top 16 there as well, right? 7, I mean, it just increases from here, really. All of this last game probably will continue in there.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like, you said it perfectly, and we were talking about it too before the match, after the match ended. If we thought this was crazy, wait until all the craziness that's about to happen on this last Super Weekend. And now we have some teams that are usually hopefully like top dogs, and people are a little bit afraid of them, and they usually get to collect a lot of points that aren't going to be participating. So it's going to make it even more interesting. I know for sure, though, a team that's going to be making it to the first Super Weekend before we even see the leaderboard is going to be Exit. Exit stepped up big time this week of League Play, and I'm so happy that they were able to. Now they're just going to have to hope that they have an S2G Super Weekend-like of what S2G was able to do during Super Weekend 1, because that's the amount of points that they're going to need, especially if they want to make it to the finals. It's just going to be so exciting. I actually cannot wait to see which teams are going to be qualifying here. And also, by the way, YouTube chat, congratulations on collecting all those rewards. Powerbang, I am so sorry, man, okay? I'm so sorry, but you're forcing my hand here. I am going to have to time you out. Shout out to AMG, though. I do want a lights out jersey, so I'll be waiting for that in the mail, too.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, well, this is what we were kind of waiting for. Yeah, I'm just going to toss it over to Glitter. She made the noise. She can go on ahead and grab this.
I'm ready for this. Okay, first page. It's cool, but it's not what we're focusing on. A7 SMB does jump up into second place, though. That's something that's good to call out. They have massively picked up their performance here in this third week of League Play. Fenerbahce, Mad, Besiktas, all up here in this top 10, making some slight movements after that last game. Nice to see a little bit of a pickup in momentum out of Fenerbahce as well, heading into this third final Super Weekend. But 7, I just want to see the second
Yo, I'm so
page.
nervous.
Let's see where the points shook out.
I'm like hyperventilating a little bit right now. I can't wait to see them just turn that page and just look. I'm gonna look. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Glitter. Team Queso doesn't make it to any Super Weekend. Ghost Gaming actually gets pushed out as well. Black Dragons doesn't make it. And a big surprise, I think we can all say for all of us, even though they're more than likely going to be making it to the finals, Navi is not going to make it either to the Super Weekend. This is actually huge for the teams like Exit going into the first Super Weekend ever. Glitter?
This is insane. I mean, even just the fact that with that one performance, Footballist and Atan jumped up so high in these leaderboards for just this portion of league play. They could have done this previously. They didn't need to put all the pressure on themselves for this final game on the final day, but they did. It somehow worked. You guys can see that the teams that are grayed out are the ones that will not be participating in this final super weekend. But what's even crazier is the fact that some of the teams that made it through are also squads that are very, very low on those overall super weekend leaderboards. So XSET, it being their first super weekend, does still have a shot. Because, you know, I'm looking at Baluch Chaptan. They've only played in one super weekend. They just barely qualified through. With that final leaderboard shakeup, they ended up being that 16th place team to qualify through. But they only have 84 points in the overall super weekend leaderboards. If you think that XSET can't do that in 15 games, you're crazy. Now it's going to be on Baluch Chaptan to try and keep a lead going above XSET, as well as Mad Bulls are at 98. Okay, they're another one that needs to get some points on the board. This is going to be a crazy Super Weekend 7.
It totally is. I mean, with Black Dragons not making it, I think we can kind of make that point as well. In regards to their points, they currently have 186 points total for both Super Weekends that they have played. And I mean, it's very unlikely, but it's not impossible, right? And I have to go back to what S2G was able to do, even though that was in a way an anomaly, right? It doesn't usually tend to happen often, but it is a possibility. If XSET is able to even get 187 points, more than likely they will be pushing out Black Dragons. Like, this is what we're talking about. There's so much stuff going on as well in this Super Weekend that we're going to be talking about Friday too, that I am just hyped about. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen, and I cannot wait to see S2G more than likely also showing up, as we saw them earlier today. We saw them get a chicken dinner with 11 elims. That's huge, and that's going to be affecting some of those teams fighting for the points. I cannot wait. This is why I love PUBG Mobile Esports.
I think it's even more insane. I know we're going back to this last game as well, but I mean, Atan dropping on Na'Vi and Mad Bulls dropping on Black Dragon specifically, like obviously targeting, making sure that they're going to kick these guys out. Like, they're definitely going for what you guys were both talking about. They're definitely targeting them to try and climb over in the Super Weekend, or just climb over anybody, any sort of a chance that they can get to go ahead and grab those points. So just thinking about stuff like that, it really kind of puts into perspective that this last match is a pretty good indicator on what we're going to see in the Super Weekend. I'm excited to see XSET in this as well, because this will be their first Super Weekend ever. We can kind of assume that they might kind of shake up the lobby. We can kind of guess from there. Interested to see if, Glitter, you seem to have an opinion on this. You said that getting that amount of points is possible for them in the 15 minutes. Kind of curious. This is the first time in the Super Weekend. Will they be able to succeed, or do you think that they're going to have a little bit of trouble at first?
I think it's going to really boil down to whether or not they can repeat their performance here during league play, but into Super Weekend. Because, I mean, we've even seen the likes of Besiktas, who sat out that first Super Weekend. They came through, they got 166 points in one Super Weekend. We've seen other teams get 150 plus multiple times in one Super Weekend. If XSET's finally found a groove, they're a team that's capable skill-wise, individually, and as a unit to put up those types of points. They just need to continue the momentum they've gathered here. They can't fall back off to that week 1, week 2 type of performance level.
Okay, well, a lot to go on ahead and look forward to. We cannot wait for the Super Weekend to go on ahead and start. We do have a little bit of a gap day to go on ahead and get ready for it, but I'm going to go on ahead and remind you, if you guys liked this action and you guys want to participate, you actually can. Because PMGC is going on ahead and teaming up with Game TV to have a very exciting PMGC community tournament. It's open for everybody, so please go on ahead and register to play. Get a PMGC token and potentially some Google Play cards as well. And again, another reminder right below, beside the title of this channel, right beside the title of this stream, press that rewards button, connect your YouTube account to your PUBG Mobile account to get more PMGC tokens as well. But other than that, 7, Glitter. That's it for these weekday games. We only have one Super Weekend left. 3 days of the Super Weekend before going on to the finals. And I mean, that's where we're gonna end up here. So thank you guys so much for watching PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021 West League. There's a lot to look forward to, so we will see you guys in Super Weekend 3. Have a nice day.